We live, baby. Thirsty Thursday. We in this thing, man.
What's up, Pat? What's up, Pat?
We got the legendary Michael Bishop.
Yeah.
The legendary. You already know who it is and what it is, man. And you know our slogan. We gon' talk about it, man. We gon' talk about it.
You say you play with boy Mike Jack at Blinn?
Yeah.
He said you remember him?
So
Jack is playing linebacker.
So we back here. I cut y'all phones down.
Yeah.
And we in here, and you know how we do it Thirsty Thursday. What's the purpose? We gonna celebrate our people while they here. We gonna celebrate them while they can hear it. We gonna celebrate them where they can say thank you and appreciate it, man. That's the whole purpose of what we doing, man. We ain't doing it for nothing else, man. Mike, how you doing today?
I'm good, man. Blessed. I'm glad to be here. You know, let's hit the wire. Let's get it going.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all see, he brought his friend now.
Yeah.
No, now ain't too many people got to right here.
That's the trophy table.
Yeah, that's the trophy table,
man.
man.
Only one of those getting handed out a year.
Not everybody get that.
Everybody gonna get a trophy.
Say, man, he act like a Galveston ninja, man. You know what I'm saying? He act like he's from Galveston.
Born in Galveston now.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We already know.
Hold on.
We gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So, man, we blessed to have you. Hey, I'm Coach T. This is Johnny Will. We here for y'all, man. So let's jump in it, man. We
do it.
So, man, look, we're gonna get to the beginning, man. So, what was your favorite sport growing up?
Oh, baseball. Baseball, my number one love.
Man.
Third base, catcher, pitched a little bit, but I'm either getting intentionally walked or I'm in the home run.
All day.
All day.
So did you actually play Little League football?
Played Little League football. I was actually forced into playing football.
Really?
Because I had an uncle that he coached every year.
Right.
And he had this old van full of equipment. My brothers and cousins was playing football, so I went to one of their games and quarterback was sick. Uncle got me dressed. I wasn't registered, wasn't nothing. just got out there. He told me. He told me what to do, and I've been playing football ever since that, man. That's how I got started.
So listen, man. If y'all want to cheat, you go ahead and do that because you're gonna find your blessing with that.
Absolutely.
That's what we were getting for that.
It was legal back then, though, man. You can find them on the street for the game and just suit them up.
No birth certificates, none of that back then. Just play ball.
Let me ask you this, man. Where did you get your talent from? You say from your mom's side, your dad's side?
Man, I would have to say it came from a little bit of both. You know, my great grandfather played professional baseball in Negro League, so you know I had talent come from that end. And then on my mom's side, we had a lot of my relatives that was playing ball. A lot of them didn't make it to college ball, but they was great high school, hometown heroes. So and every family has that.
So your grandfather, you say he played Negro League?
Yeah, for the Kansas City Monarchs.
Wow.
It was a pitcher, so.
That is big right there, man.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
So, who was your favorite player growing up? So, you like baseball or whatever, but who was your favorite player? Bar none, no matter what sport it was, who was your favorite player growing up?
Well, if I had to go, football is Warren Moon because I got a chance to see him once he finally got his opportunity in the league and to see him do what he did. And then I had to do research to learn the history of what he did in Canada. Because a lot of people don't know his story, but all those years in Canada, Grey Cup championships. So in order to, I was blessed to do that research, but see him live in his dream and play in the NFL and do well with it, when he got his opportunity.
Wow, that's good. Warren Moon, that was like to be a quarterback and have somebody who else you had to look up to? If you want to ride in that lane, it's kind of contradictory to. I can look at him, but I know I got to follow this guy path. So that was a great guy to follow.
And my thing was, being from the state of Texas, that was a quarterback that played in the team that's from Texas.
Right.
So a lot of people, may have. Favorite quarterbacks that played in Washington or, Seattle or whatever it is. But, I'm from the state of Texas, so he was right there. So I can almost reach out and say, I'm a part of that.
Well, people forget we only had 3 channels to watch.
That's it. So we had to get rid of it.
So the Oilers came on channel 11, 13 on there? There you go. Fix the antenna and you watch the game.
So, man, what was your actual first football memory? I know you got picked up by your uncle and all that stuff, but you playing the sport, what was your first football memory?
Man, my first memory, coming from Little League, you having fun and you running touchdowns. And the first time I got hit and got, almost knocked to, 3-4 yards out of bounds. That was my first memory because, growing up, once you get the game and you're able to develop your skill, you can pretty much have your way in certain football games against certain teams. But to get hit by somebody and never expect it, and then to get up and say, well, this is my first hit, my first official hit. What do I do after that? So, Literally, that was my first time because you have snot coming out your nose, you're crying. The coach saying, get up, get back in there. You get a delay of game because you don't want to go to the next place. So, I've been through all that, man. But it only makes you better, though, in the end.
Man, so we kind of almost in the same age group or whatever. So I'm gonna ask you this question: so how was it growing up in the peak of the drug and the gang era? I know it affected different areas, different ways. I don't know how it was in Willis, but I just kind of want to ask you, how was it growing up in the area?
See, for me, I grew up on a street in Willis called Philpott Street, and they used to call us Philpott Posse. Mm-hmm. So I got cousins that's been locked up. I got cousins locked up now. I got cousins out now that's still doing their thing. So what on my street, what they did is if they was involved in dope game, they kept it at the corner. They never brought it down when we was on the street playing basketball. They never brought it down when we was playing touch football or tackle football in the street, on the pavement. They did it in their certain areas, but we knew what was going on. But for me, I was raised. I'm one of 7 kids, so my dad's a pastor. We was in church 24/7, so I knew right from wrong, though it was right in front of me. So I say it all the time like this, I may have hung with the crowd, but I didn't run with the crowd.
Most definitely.
If that makes sense.
No, that makes a lot of sense. I understand exactly what you're trying to say right there. Do you have any other siblings?
I have 4 sisters, 2 brothers.
So, kind of talk about them a little bit. Did any of them have any other talents or whatever like that? Or any of them play sports?
Well, like I said, we all grew up playing sports. So, sisters played volleyball, basketball, ran track, cheerleaders. My brother played. My younger brother didn't play, but my older brother played running back. He actually had a 4-ride to Baylor, broke his ankle, and ended up sitting out 2 years and went and made Division III All-American running back up at Huron University in South Dakota. So, my family was, immediate family, cousins, all that. It's a competition because every weekend you had somewhere to go. You had to go watch somebody play.
Right.
Yeah.
So, in your family, who would you say had the biggest impact on you?
I would have to go to with my mother because in the black household that's the glue.
Yeah,
and you see all kind of things. I've been through it where you got to make decisions. You want to pay the light bill or do you want to do this, do that? Yeah. So I got to see all that at an early age, and I think in the generation now, kids don't get to see that because things are different now. So kids really don't struggle as much as we struggled back then. Yeah. So it's like I said, it builds your character, man. But I've seen the good, bad, and ugly.
Most definitely, man. I told everybody, man, it's this app that fixed everything, all that, man. It's an app called Facebook, because ain't nobody broke no more, man. Everybody rich on Facebook, what I'm saying? Right. So let me ask you this, man. Who is better out of you and Jamie Foxx? All I'm saying is I seen Jamie Foxx play football too. You know what I'm saying? When he played football, when he played quarterback in the movie. Yeah. So y'all tip for tat, man. So who better out of you and Jamie Foxx?
Are they tip for tat?
I don't know about tip for tat.
Will it be really good, man? That's all I'm saying.
But I'll tell you what, man. It's a twist to that, man, because when that movie came out, and even to this day, if I'm sitting there watching the movie, some of the stuff that he was doing is stuff I was going through. In my career, people always got different things to say about you. You can't do this, can't do that. So I can relate to that movie. But if you're gonna pick a team, you better get me.
Right.
Let's go with it. You better get me because I'm gonna come on with it.
Right.
So it's not gonna be no acting. I'm gonna be for real.
So while filming that movie, did he reach out to you cause I'm trying to do this, that, and the third? I know those actors do a lot of research and a lot of studying. Now my first cousin playing quarterback, played quarterback. And was one of the good, better quarterbacks out here.
Well, the thing about it is, and y'all can attest to this too, man. Sometimes it's your own family. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it would have been a perfect thing to do, but it didn't go down like that because he's going off a script, and he's getting paid for the script. He's not getting paid for anything I say. Mm-hmm. And I can understand that, but at the time, it could have been a lot more information. It was a great film.
Right.
I said like that.
Right.
But his part when it came to football, he was acting.
Right.
Yeah. So to take something it was difficult to take something from anybody else because we're not actors, and he had to get into that role,
right,
instead of being just Eric Bishop, Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, most definitely.
You got to be that actor because this is what they paying you to do.
So basically, he can't fudge with you. I
got that. He can't do
it. So when did you? And I'm glad you said Eric Bishop, right? So when did you find out that he changed his name? Like how did you find it out or whatever? Not that it matters. Just talk.
Yeah, but our family reunion every year is in the East Texas, and I remember, being 5 years old, going to the family reunion and seeing different people, not really knowing who gonna become what at that time. But soon as his whole little story when change the name, go to California and hope you get a gig by the name of Jamie Foxx. They don't know if it's male or female. So he get on, get gigs and do his thing. So for me, once I really, we really, I think the whole family really lost touch of what he was doing in California until all of a sudden, you see him doing comedy. And Boy Beam was like, man, what? And then, it's just like you see me, 10 years earlier, then all of a sudden I blow up. Then you say, man, but you didn't even tell me what's going on like that. Because, the communication's not there. But at the same time, he did his thing. He got the opportunity that he was looking for. That's all we want is opportunity.
Right.
So, like growing up, like how was y'all relationship? We'll get past this, but how was y'all relationship growing up? You know what I'm saying? And then, like, I'm asking you this too. Did you ever go to Cali and rock with him? Like, you ever?
Man, I'll tell you, we're growing up, like I say, we used to always see each other at the family reunions. And at the family reunion, you see cousins you ain't never seen. Yeah. And, especially little kids, wherever the family reunions at, it was always the parks. We was always playing football, playing basketball. So you never really had time just to say, kick back and really rock with it. And even as you got older, when you get older, sometimes you forget about your people and you don't come to the reunions. And, that happens with a lot of families, tit for tat, or you owe me this, you owe me that. Yeah. I can't be around you if you coming up there, with some 26 in your car, you owe me $2, So it's situations like that, but at the end of the day, it is what it is.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. Most definitely. Yeah. So you never been to Cali, like you never go down that way?
I partied with him one time.
How was it?
And the parties are different, man. Like you gotta be they're different. You gotta be in that mode before you get there.
Right.
If you ain't in that mode before you get there, then you just a fly on the wall.
Yeah.
But if you're in that mode before you get there and you walk right into that vibe, you in it to win it.
Yeah.
But we're not really saying a whole lot. Some of the things that goes on in parties I don't partake in.
Man,
so
that's
yeah. So all right, so did you feel like you were better in football or baseball? Let's say at that point we're in Little League. So you feel like you better in football and baseball at that time?
Well, my heart was at baseball, but after that first year, seeing the enjoyment that the little kids and the enjoyment that in Little League you may have family and fans right on the sideline.
Right.
So I started liking that feeling of run a touchdown, throw a touchdown, and I can look over and they can be
put
right
on that show for your family.
Show, yeah. So I immediately fell in love with football then, but I kept baseball on the back burner as well.
Most definitely. So now we won't get to high school. So talk about being all-state in football as a quarterback. Like what did that mean to you?
Man, I tell you, man, and this for all the kids too, man. The kids that got dreams or aspiration. It's never easy because I had. I was able to play on varsity my freshman year. So they brought me up and put me as backup quarterback, but they started me a receiver. I never played receiver, but they knew I can run, catch, and do all that. So I was doing my thing for the team, catching balls, getting in the end zone, taking hits, but my heart was at quarterback. So when I got my chance to play QB, I had been playing QB all my life.
Right.
And that was the first time I had somebody just, boom, hit me right in the face and say, we're going to put you up here, but you're not going to play. You're going to play this position. So I had already started going through that before college, before league and all that. People want to change position.
Right.
So I had to, for my team, because everybody on that team, we all grew up together. So I knew, and the quarterback that was there, I knew that he couldn't do it like I did it, but he was a junior, so they played him there. So I had to deal with that, but it was frustrating, and this is for the kids. Like, you will always get people to tell you can't do it, but it's a matter of your will, your determination. If you know that's your gift, then you stay with it. And I stayed with it. And when I got my time to shine in high school, I did it to the best of my ability. And my high school year, my senior year is the best in school history. Until we ran up against Lamar, but we handle business up until
I don't even know who that is.
Me neither. I just, it's a blur to me, man.
I don't even know who that is.
Kind of speaking of that, so how far did y'all, like, what was y'all record your senior year when you, so you only started quarterback your senior year?
I started my junior and senior year, yeah.
What year did you make varsity?
Freshman year.
Oh.
But they had me at receiver, backup quarterback.
Man, that's a hell of a complaint, man. People just wishing they could be on, get in the game, on varsity freshman.
But when I got there, like, they started me, I started at receiver, but I was a QB, you know what I'm saying? So.
Man.
Yeah. So what was the pecking order for when you played wide receiver? I know freshman year, that's, disregard that. Now after freshman year, was you like the number one receiver, number two receiver?
Well, I was the number one receiver my freshman year. Because I told them, and my dad told them, if y'all gonna put me up there, don't have me on the bench. Don't have me sitting there wasting a year. So they said they found a spot for me and put me in receiver. They didn't know I can catch, but I was catching everything, high, low, all
you're a baseball kid. Like, baseball kids translate good with that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I did my thing, and then they got comfortable with me being a receiver. But I wasn't comfortable at it.
You had to shake the pot up.
I had to shake it up, But I did it for the team at the time, and I did it pretty good.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah.
So your senior year, what was y'all reckoning, and how far did y'all go?
My senior year, I think we lost 2 games. We started out 0-2. We lost to Crockett and we lost to Liberty back then. Mm-hmm. And both of those games, it was raining, storming, so they should have postponed the games, but we lost both of them. And after that, we made our mind up, and we was good up until we ran up until the mark, and I think it was area. It was either area or regional. Mm-hmm. And I got cheap shot at third play of the game.
Who did it? Who did it to you?
It was 2 or 3 of them. 2 or 3 of them got me out of bounds.
Probably Derek Mouton.
Derek Mouton, you hit Michael Bishop dirty.
Yeah, man. I'm going to beat him up for you, man. You ain't got nothing to worry about with that, man. All right, so... hey, we got the boss in here, man.
Yeah, we got the boss, Greg Rounder, over here in the backdrop with that hate, man.
He gonna take up for his stuff.
You can't talk too bad about Lamar. He gonna unplug everything.
Most definitely. So, talk about being drafted by the Cleveland Indians, man. Like, what did that mean to you?
See, baseball is so different, man, because you're in high school and you having fun, and if you're good at it, you start seeing these people show up with clipboards, with Atlanta on their shirts, and you don't really know unless somebody's before you has been through it. So, I remember my senior year, I started seeing this. The scout that scouted me was Rene Gallo, big Cuban guy, big, swole, and I used to see him at the game, and he would always just wave at me. And of course, my high school coach, he's from the Indians. He's been watching me for the last 3 weeks, and I was like, okay, cool. What are you watching me for? Because you don't know. And then my first conversation with him, he said, "Young man, you're gonna have a decision you're going to make." And it was either you're going to do football or you're going to do baseball. And so, once he told me about that, I was like, well, how you going to tell me which one I got to do? But I was able to realize towards the end of my senior year that what he was talking about. And it made me, start watching the ball a little closer. Because, I either hit a home run or got walked, and then they started throwing that change up at me, trying to make me wait on it. So he used to always tell me, wait on it, see it leaving hand. So I started really eyeing in on baseball, and when the draft came along, Rene Gallo called me and told me they was going to draft me. So I knew before the draft even hit. So it was just a matter of just sitting there waiting. And back then, it really wasn't on TV. So I'm sitting back then, all of a sudden I get a phone call, hey, we're going to draft you with this pick. And I'm like, okay, cool. So then when I found out, you you got to go to AAA ball, you got to go AA ball. And
the whole process.
The whole process, because there was 2 guys ahead of me when I graduated with my older sister, like 6 years older than me, that one was pitching for the Cubs and one was pitching for the Cleveland Indians. Right. So whenever they come back home, they used to always work with me in baseball. So once I got drafted, they basically told me what to expect. And I was like, man, I'm 17, 18 years old. I'm not ready to go that far away from home.
Right.
So it's different things that you got to think about. It's being drafted is great, but are you mature enough to go, 14 hours away, 22 hours away, live on your own, and do what you're supposed to do.
So you made that decision on your own.
On my gut, yes, sir.
That's rare.
It was rare because my mom and dad was like, it was new to them too. They was like, well, they see the same thing I see. I get drafted, and the scout come to the house and talk to him, picking me up, taking me to the batting cages, and so they seen the process, but they never experienced that process. So it's hard to be real about something if you never seen it. So you got to trial and error. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I sit there, man. And, I get my signing bonus and was able to hold on to it and at the end decided I want to go play football. And that's kind of sort of how I end up at Blinn with, not sure if you're going to go ahead and do that, but most of the schools that recruited me wanted me to play receiver DB in football.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, well, I got options now.
Wow.
Y'all want me to do that? I can go play baseball.
Most definitely.
And so, I didn't have to get my signing bonus back, which was good.
What that signing bonus look like?
I mean, well, I tell you like this here, if you probably know, like I know, when you grow up and your mom and dad ain't, not making over $70,000.
Yeah.
If you get anything over that, you blessed.
Right.
So what I seen was, 5 times what my mom and dad was making. You know what I mean? At that time.
And you went to Blinn with house money.
With Blinn with house money.
Yeah, that's good.
You head of household, then you file your own tax. Hey, daddy, go wash the dishes.
But it's a process, man. So I got to experience it at an early age.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Where would you rank yourself in Willis history?
Willis history, I mean, they had their own ranking. I didn't even get the vote, but I was, I've been ranked number 1. I've been, ranked one of the top athletes in the Montgomery County area right now. They actually got a poll right now, and I was winning like 87. I had 87% on it as the number 1 football player for Montgomery County. So.
Man, I'm speaking to Willis right now. If y'all don't have a field named after this man, I'm going to come up there and I'm going to slap somebody. You understand that? I'm going to come to Willis.
I tell you what, you're going to have to slap a lot of people. There's no
get
field,
in line.
There's no field. There's no jersey.
Statue.
There's no statue.
No, the practice field named after you. Nothing.
Hey, man, Willis.
But I say this all the time, though. I know where I've been. I know what I stand for.
Right.
So if you don't name anything after me, I'm fine with that, because I know the dedication I put into it to get to where I went.
Right.
But everywhere I went, Willis was attached.
Well, you could have been down here in '95.
So
could have been.
And we could have went here and won in those states.
Hey.
You could have been in Galveston. I ain't saying down here because that means I'm
Yeah.
You could have been in Galveston with John Humphrey and that whole game.
There you go.
John Humphrey was toting that ball back then.
And all we needed was a quarterback. We had Brandon Backing.
Yep.
No, I love Brandon Backing. No shot to him, but he ain't Michael Bishop.
So
that's all I'm saying.
Brings me this question. See, Trisha made him like we won.
Yeah, I know.
If you stay in Galveston, you don't leave, right? Because it's root from Galveston. That's why. Look, the boy like that. So if you stay in Galveston and you play with John Humphreys, how far y'all go, man? Y'all beat Drew Brees?
Oh, we killed Drew Brees. I mean, I played with John in Canada too. So we was on a team together with Toronto. So and of course I knew him from what he was doing and all that, because John went to in Oklahoma. Was it Indio? So I got to see him in high school. I got to watch the defense try to stop him too. So I knew what type of talent he had. So, but if I stayed, yes, we were seeing film. It was on that the roller thing, but we were seeing it. Yeah. But I think if I was able to stay down this way, man, life would be totally different.
God, it'd have been nasty as hell.
We'd have named building after you down here.
Yeah, you got it. It'd been Bishop Stadium. At least Bishop practice field or something, man.
Bishop session, you know what I'm saying?
Bishop auditorium. We didn't put Bishop on something. You got us that old ring now.
Bishop Dro, what's up?
Yeah.
All right. So let's get to the Blinn situation, right? So you kind of spoke on it, but maybe let you expound on it. But what actually made you choose Blinn?
Man, what made me choose Blinn is, you go down a recruit trip and, Blinn is in Brenham, Texas. It's known for ice cream.
Yeah.
And,
Chapel Hill sausage.
In Chapel Hill sausage, right. So when I go to my recruit visit, I had played against Brenham in high school, so I knew about the city of Brenham, but I hadn't been to the campus. So when I get there, and of course I see Big Pokey, I see all those guys that was there the year before, and so they had knew about me because they would come to high school games on Friday nights. Mm-hmm. So most of those guys had already seen me play, and so once I get there, the first thing I say, man, you coming here, or where you going? You gonna come ball with us, or we got to play against you? What it's gonna be? But there's one guy named Brady Bob, and he's a comedian now, but he was my host there, and And some of the things, man, we had some some great talks, and of course the campus not that big, but walk around the campus.
You ride right through Blinn.
Right through it.
You be in another city.
Yeah, but it was enough of them who put it in perspective, which made me make my decision to come there. Right. And plus, once I got there, I hung out with the guys that was there, and I was able to see that vibe, and the vibe that they had was incredible.
Right.
Because there's nothing there, but you can see they was one unit.
Right.
And that's what made me say I want to be a Buccaneer.
You ain't a buck, you ain't shit.
Yeah, and that's the song too, boy.
Yeah.
Hey, that song
that's
go
it.
hard
It's in
too.
the locker room. Soon you walk in, I fell in love. I like, you ain't a buck, you ain't shit.
Yeah.
I said, Mama, you see that? Yeah,
I don't know, man. Some of y'all probably kind of passed over these said name like Big Pokey, right? So we all been screwheads.
Milton Powell.
Hey,
yes.
So we all been screwheads or whatever like that. So kind of speak on, you kind of seeing that thing grow before the great tapes. Yeah. I think you kind of got a glimpse of the SUC.
Man, I got bigger than a glimpse, man, because that whole crew used to come to Blinn, and they'll come over by Solon's Hall where we was at in the dorms, and you would see cars line up. You would see people that wasn't even in school that was coming down. Right. We had people coming from Houston because they knew you was going to get a free concert, didn't have to pay a dime.
Right.
And it was going to be raw, and it was going to be uncut, and it was going to be real. But they was able to vibe, and from DJ's crew to Pokey to Lil Kiki, all those guys was coming through there. And it was coming to them because they messed with Big Poke. Right. And so in turn, we messed with Big Poke, so we was able to be a part of that culture at the time. So I was hearing freestyles that never made the tapes. And the freestyles that we was hearing back then, like, man, how come y'all don't have this on one of them great tapes?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it was... and I couldn't freestyle, and I know half of the team couldn't freestyle. But to be there, you learn how to freestyle. Yeah. But it was great, man, because before games you see Big Poke when he started rocking. He finna come off the top of the dome. And some of the stuff he was coming off the top with was
and Polio was serious, man.
Yeah.
Be that big, he rap big. How everybody want to rap little and sensitive and sing nowadays. No, Big Pokey, he was big and rap big. Hardest pit in the litter.
And he played big too.
That's what you're talking about.
See, what people don't know is, and I put this, I would line Poke up between any D tackle, good, bad, ugly, whatever has played, Hall of Fame, whatever, and Poke handle his business. I seen Poke handle his business in the game. When I'm dropping back, I ain't have to worry about that right side. So I seen it. And what people don't know, in the song, when he say his height, he say his weight, that's for real. And great feet can move. Great
they want to fight me, but I weigh too many pounds. Keep a chopper in the trunk with the same amount of rounds. I'm Big Pokey. Shout out to Big Pokey.
Shout out to Big Pokey, man.
Milton Powell,
you got to come on the podcast, man. We got to talk.
We got to talk about it, Big Pokey, man. We got to talk about it. I tagged him in here before we started, man. But man, I'm gonna need you on that one, Mike, man. Yeah. We gotta get Big Pokey in here, man.
Oh man,
real talk, man. That's one of my favorites, but man, that was big.
So your freshman year, right? Your freshman year, y'all go 12-0. Talk about having that kind of success as a freshman coming from high school.
Man, it's a lot of people don't know, but like if you take all these teams and go undefeated, man, it's actually tough, man, because you go through the grind of tour days, you go through the grind of seeing people get cut, even at JUCO level. You see people that should be playing that can't get in the game because this guy's better. But you've had all this success, through high school, and you come there, you just another number.
Right.
And so to go there, when I got to Blinn, man, honestly, they had 6 QBs when I got there. And by the time training camp was over, it was only 2 of us. So, but I had to go there and earn my stripes, because when you go there and you can relate right off top, then they know you special.
Right.
But if you can't relate, then you just another number here.
Right.
Move out the way, let him get these reps.
Yeah.
But when I got there, man, and I got to jail with all those guys, and I understood what they felt about the team and their passion and all that, football was easy.
Right.
The biggest thing in football is can you get along with those other 10 guys in the huddle? Because you need them.
Right. And especially at quarterback.
And so once we all bought into that, the rest was history. We was, like I said, we was scoring 7 points a game. We was having fun. And but we all knew we here for a certain amount of time. Either we're gonna be good or we're gonna be bad. Either you're gonna get this Division I scholarship or you're gonna, fall to the wayside and go somewhere you could have went and did 4 years instead of coming here.
Right.
So JUCO, JUCO. A lot of people look down on JUCO, but JUCO got some of the best players.
Most definitely.
Some of the hard-nosed players. You may have a bunch of players that are hard-headed, but they're gonna get it done for you.
Right.
So you got to learn to deal with all those emotions. And so we was able to take all those emotions and put it out there on Saturday and say it's us against the world. That's how we made 12-0 my first year.
So what was one of the most notable matchups you had your freshman year?
My freshman year, I'll tell you, we played was it Navarro? And Navarro had some guys from C.E. King. I played against in high school. We beat C.E. King, but they had 2 D linemen. And when I tell you, they was about 6'8", 6'9", and wingspan longer than some of the basketball players. They were natural born good, man. And them boys, both of them went to Navarro. And I remember before the game, they would say, just like high school. But I'm like, no, buddy, I got somebody to fight with me now. It ain't gonna down like that. Yeah. But to see those guys come from high school and see them come in and almost do the same thing they was doing in high school, being beasts. But we had better beasts on my side protecting me. So that was my first eye opener. Like, okay, now this for real. Yeah. Not only did you do this in high school, but you still doing it here. Right. But you didn't make enough plays to knock me off the throne. Right. So that first Navarro, that was a tough game, man. That was my very first tough game at JUCO.
So when did I play them? Is it during the season or?
It was so in JUCO was in the state of Texas. You can win all the games. You can play preseason against whoever you want to play against. But you probably gonna play, like, for instance, Tyler or Navarro or Cisco. You may beat them during the regular season, but you got to turn around and play them again in the playoffs. Yeah. So you got to win that conference. You can go undefeated, but you got to win that conference in order to be even in the range for the championship or the national title. So I think we played a couple times. We played like Navarro like 3 times, man. Had to beat them 3 times.
Man, it's hard to.
It's hard.
That junior college rough, man. It's not for everybody.
Is your freshman year the year that you that you beat one of Lamarck's legend, Greg Randall? Is that the year?
My second year.
Oh, your sophomore year.
My sophomore year.
You go 12-0 that year. Let's talk about. I just want to get to that last game. So this last game, man, historical game, man. They jump out on you. Boom. What is it? 14-0 they get out on you?
14-0.
14-0, man. You the quarterback. What's going on in your head right now?
Well, I tell you, I don't know if Greg them knew that at the time, but that was the first time we had been down. All year. First time. But what Greg them forgot about is that we knew how to score. We knew how to play defense, and we had a punt returner and a kickoff returner that hadn't got loose yet. So at the time, they jump out 14, and they whole sideline. Even Greg, you see Greg on the sideline jumping around.
Greg was celebrating.
But I tell you, me and Greg had this conversation. Greg quickly knew that it wasn't gonna last. He already knew that, but he just had to jump on and ride the wave with his team. Right. It was only
he said he knew it wasn't gonna last.
He knew it wasn't gonna last.
But what's up with that, man?
He knew it wasn't gonna last.
Hey man, we only got 10 out of state.
Crawfordville played their first quarter, and that was the best quarter they played. Right. Because the other 3 quarters they weren't out there. And it got to the point we were just having fun. Yeah. After that.
I ain't get beat. So.
Greg, you ain't get beat? Hey, your man ain't have no stats.
Do the Greg celebration again.
Greg was over there.
Man.
Oh my goodness.
He might have done the south side over there.
Say, if you know Greg, that's funny as hell.
Yeah, you got to know Greg. That is funny as hell right there.
So listen, man. So you go your sophomore, you go 12-0 again. How do you want to get honorable mention all conference? Like,
man, JUCO's so crazy, man. It's just like in life, there's so many haters because there's nobody at that time that put up the numbers I put up in JUCO. Nobody that went back-to-back national title. So you got to take the cricket with the straights, man. So when I look back on that, I was like, there's no way.
But honorable mention.
You only got honorable mention. But all conference.
Yeah. You ain't supposed to be surprised, man. I'm the co-host.
And there's nobody else from from Navarro, Tyler Junior College, Cisco, Ranger. None of those quarterbacks can hold my job.
Bro.
He got honorable mention.
Yep.
What conference is
but,
this?
But the only thing I would say about that, we had so many players on our team that made All-American. You know, I guess I was a scapegoat.
They say, he got all the talent around him. So,
But to me, this me talking, right? So when I say that, I'm gonna say something controversial. Yeah. But like, to me, I just feel like they didn't want to give it to a black quarterback at that time. Like to give you that is saying something else, right? Saying that we have arrived.
They're backing.
You know what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying?
I definitely feel it because when you look at it, there's no reason why I shouldn't get it. You know.
That's not the first time you got screwed. We don't get to the second time. We don't get to the second time. Okay. Yeah, I got some stuff, boy. I was mad when I read some stuff, though.
I'm telling you.
We'll get to that. So, are you the best quarterback to come through Glen?
There we go.
Come on,
come on now. We gonna talk about it now.
He's still like we in church.
Let's go, man.
I'm looking up on this. Now, I don't hate on nobody. But when it comes to the best QB to come through Glen, you got to put the numbers out there. And the numbers don't lie. Facts don't lie. 12-0, 12-0, 24-0. Nobody even came close to that. So, you know, to Cam, you did a great job. I understand that. That's your legacy, how you want to play it. But when it comes to the best QB to come through Glen, there's only one number 7. That's Mike B. And everybody that play with me, you can take my team versus his team, and we'll totally shut it down. So I stand by that. I represent that, and I would tell him that to his face, anytime, any place. I'm the best QB to come through Glen.
And I second that, even though I ain't nobody.
Hey, I mean, you got to go by the numbers.
I'm a Cam fan and a Mike Bishop fan though.
No doubt about it.
Adamant, but
no doubt about it.
we not gonna say that.
And I'm a huge Cam fan. I hope somebody sign him. You know, so he can keep doing his thing.
Most definitely. This young brother went 24-0. Cam, you got an issue with that, you just call in, man. We'll have
We'll talk about it.
We'll get an answer.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Yeah.
This is something I ask a lot of people, man. So, how do you feel about college players getting paid? Should they get paid?
Oh, you know what? That's a great question, man. Because during the course of college football, a lot of them been paid. You know, a lot of them had already been paid. You know, you can go back to Eric Dixon. You know, he got paid. Everybody know that story.
Yeah.
You can go back to they probably 20 years from now they'll come out and they have a feel good story, and everybody tell how much they made in college.
Right.
There's some people that made more in college than they made in the league. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's a true story.
Yeah.
But do I think college athletes should be paid? Absolutely. Because number one, you know what you're doing. You putting your life on the line every play. It's like being in the car wreck every play.
Right.
So when you break it down, some schools are $40,000 for the year. But when I go out there and you telling me you give me a $40,000 scholarship, but what I do on Saturdays is put $3 million in there on Saturdays. So why can't I get a piece of the pie?
Right.
So you got all these people wearing jerseys, even at K-State, you got all these people wearing these jerseys with Bishop number 7 on the back, and I don't see nothing from that.
That is the wildest shit ever.
So I understand why people do what they do.
How did it feel to see jerseys in the stands with your number, your family's name on the back, and your family
don't benefit
a piece of that pie?
Man, it's real tough because you go to K-State. We can go to a K-State game anytime, and you're gonna see 95% jerseys with 7s on. And you're gonna see Bishop on the back of it. And you can walk with me. We can walk through the crowd, and before we get to the game, I'll be signed 2,000, 5,000 autographs on that same number 7. And I'm signing. I'm doing it because I love the game and I love the fans. But every time I sign, I'm like, all right, cool. All right, that's
That's supposed to be going to a trust fund or something.
Foundation, anything, but there's ways that every player that has an impact on any university, recruitment-wise or whatever, because I think what I did at K-State, it opened the doors for a lot of people to come to K-State.
Ain't no doubt about
it. So to go there and give 2 years and give everything I got, or everything that I gave to them, and so now if I can go back, you pay me, man. Yeah. Let me get, because you got, coaches getting $7 million a year. Ain't throwing one touchdown.
Ain't taking one hit. Ain't practicing not one day. They're standing out there screaming. Some of them don't even scream.
I speak for the black community. Like, nobody, was talking about Kansas State. Like, you know what I'm saying? But when you went there coming from Texas, like, you were more notable to us And right, Texas is a big purchasing power, right?
Right.
You were more noticeable to us than Donovan McNabb. I'll just be honest with you. I had to look up what Donovan McNabb, what college he went to when he was in the league. I had to look that up. Like, man, what college did he go to? Yeah. I ain't gonna think that about you.
Yeah. It was automatic. We didn't know about Kansas State until Michael Bishop got there.
Ain't no doubt about it.
Well, I didn't know about Kansas State till they recruited me. So we're in the same boat, and that's serious too, man. Because when I got recruited by him, I was like, what is this? And then, talking to Coach Snyder and Coach Lattimore, the one that recruited me, they basically told me, we had a winning season last year. Our quarterback leaving. We needed QB. We're gonna give you opportunity, and that's all I needed. When I took my visit, I was like, okay, cool. I'm coming. I met the other guys. We was cut from the same cloth. And even though they was from Florida, Iowa, some from Kansas, but when I got there, I was like, okay, if they're gonna give me a shot, I'm coming here.
So with that recruiting process, how many were still trying to get you to switch positions?
Oh, every last one of them. UT, A&M. And A&M, I'm right down the street at Blinn doing my thing.
Right.
So for them, funny story, R.C. Slocum apologized to me after my first year. When we beat A&M at Kansas, he apologized to me because he was the guy who told me I couldn't play QB.
R.C. Slocum, kill yourself.
Yes. And when they apologized to me, all I could say was I appreciate it, Coach, because I knew I had arrived. I knew I did what you thought I couldn't do. You know what I mean? And I was doing it consistently.
And they just pouring that gas in you.
Just pouring on. Yeah, but they didn't know that. But, they was giving me ammunition every week. UT, all of them, was giving me ammunition every week. Y'all don't want me to stay in Texas and play? That's cool. Let's go get this win.
Did they have a reason, like a legit reason why they say, hey, this is the reason why we don't want to see a quarterback? Because, like, you look at the arm talent, right? You could slang that thing from, 70 yards, right? So was there any legit reason why they said they didn't?
Wasn't no reason. Wasn't no reason. I mean, you look at their roster, I think A&M had Brandon Stewart. They had...
Don't know.
Brandon Stewart transferred from Tennessee. He had just came in. When I was leaving Brandon, he had just transferred from Tennessee. Peyton had beat him out for the job.
They say never heard of him.
Yeah, but they said that was going to be their guy. And of course, I grew up watching James Brown in Texas, and then I knew that they had brought in Major Applewhite, which, I had a matchup against him, and, we beat them 49-7. So anybody that they compared me to, I can out-compete, out-play.
So this is my theory, and I ain't never brought this to a professional quarterback of your stature, but with these coordinators and these coaches, a mobile quarterback, and we still see, because we just starting to see in 20, let's start saying 20, Harbaugh with Kaepernick started it out with, hey man, you probably going to win if you start catering this offense to the players' talent, right? Did you feel that they felt is that, man, if I take this guy with all his athleticism, all his ability, I'm going to have to change away from what I do, as far as a coach. I'm gonna have to change. Now I got to do more stuff. And you got these old school coordinators. It's like, man, I'm not changing everything I've been doing for all this because he can run a little bit. What if he get hurt? Now if he get hurt, everything that I changed, we gotta go back to this dude who a stiff leg who stand in the pocket all day.
Point.
Do that make sense to you?
It makes a lot of sense, but you got so many coordinators who stuck in their ways.
Right.
And like I said, they've been doing this for, some of them say they've been doing it for 20 years, 30 years or whatever. But as you know, the world turns around the axis, so does these new players.
Right.
So me, if I'm a coordinator, I got to get the best athlete I can get. Because when it all breaks down, and I can't tell you, this look is coming and we don't have enough to protect that. But when you can take over and make two guys miss you, and you get the first down, or you can keep my job, then I shouldn't have no issue with that.
The craziest thing in the world is take the sack. Yeah. That has never made sense to me.
The thing about take the sack comes for QBs who can't run.
Right.
Take the sack comes for QBs who can't take that big hit and they're going to go ahead and get down. We see it all the time. Even at the National Football League. You see quarterbacks, the lineman hadn't even hit you yet, but you already turning and taking the sack.
Yeah, you taking the sack. You surrender.
You surrender. You give it up.
They can't make that make sense to me forever,
And a lot of them, they give up because they don't want to get hit.
Right.
So for me, I've never been afraid to get hit. I've been getting hit all my life since I came out the womb. So,
but at least you can control it when you break outside the pocket.
You get outside the pocket, now that's a problem.
You got an option. Either I can run out of bounds, slide, or take it.
You become a problem for the defense, and then if you got an older coach stuck in the way, you become a problem from here. Right. Because now he got to figure out what can he do to accommodate you and keep you happy.
He got to get out of his comfort zone.
And a lot of them don't want to get out of their comfort zone because they scared that if they get out of the comfort zone and it don't work, then the head coach gonna fire them. So it goes both ways.
And you got 100 excuses to where you got that mobile quarterback and it didn't work. So you got 100 ready-made excuses. Yeah. Oh, he don't see the field well. He's not smart enough. Or he's fragile.
And to football, that's the craziest thing that I've ever heard. QB's not smart enough. Playing QB when once you get out of high school, you get to the next level, you got to know everything.
Right.
You got to know, blitzes, you got to know audibles, you got to know all this stuff. And people fail to understand that, especially when they talk about black quarterback. Oh, they're not smart enough. They can't do this, can't do that. What they've been doing all their life.
They've been playing quarterback their whole life.
In college?
Right.
So you mean to tell me all of a sudden they can't do it? And that's unfortunate. That's the way it happens. Same thing with Lamar Jackson. They came up with all kind of reasons why he can't do it.
Right.
And then now they sit back and then they praise him. Right. Because you gave him opportunity. That's all we ever want.
So now at this point, right, you at K-State. So you coming from JUCO. Are you having any doubts about being able to play at this level? Because it is a different level. In yourself, are you having doubts?
You know what? I didn't have any doubts, man. My first game at K-State, we played against Northern Illinois, and we was up in Illinois. It was a away game, and I look back at some of those films and look at the picture. I was the ugliest dressed quarterback guy. I had on, I was on that turf. I had on knee pads, all kinds of elbow pads. Yeah. But once I got there, I threw 4 touchdowns and I had a 73-yard TD run for QB draw. And once that happened at K-State, I said, man, this just like I've been doing this all my life. So what's the next chapter? Let me see. Give me something harder.
Yeah, most definitely. Man. So, all right. So, talk about winning 11. So, you won 11 games your first year, right?
Right.
So, you kind of spoke about the transition from JUCO to D1, but talk about winning 11 games that year. So, that's crazy.
Well, see, I came in to K-State with nothing on my mind, but let's go get this championship. Because I just came off 2 national titles, so I had made my body and my mind was conditioned to championship from the 2 years there, and I had built that up so much. So when I get to K-State, I'm like, okay, so we got some pretty good players here. We got some fast guys. I got some receivers that can catch. We got to win this championship. So as the season goes on, we started winning. I think my 4th game, we played against Nebraska. And Nebraska defense was through the roof back then. The black shirts.
Yeah, that was it. The black shirt defense. I mean,
they had all them big name players.
That was the boogeyman of Big 12 right there.
So they beat us 56-21. So I get banned from the media. I don't know if I know I got banned from the media because that was my first game losing. One of the reporters asked me, how does it feel to have a loss? And I told him, I said, what you think it feel like, And I spoke straight from the gut and straight from my heart. So I made a statement that, my teammates lost the game on kickoff. We fumbled on kickoff. So y'all scared of Big Red. I'm not scared of Big Red. Let's play ball. So I said that during the course of the game, once they jumped ahead and they ran a punt back, then I looked on the side and I seen my teammates put their head down. So I said, don't quit on me because I'm going to keep battling to the end. And so when I made that statement, I got banned from the media for 6 weeks for saying that.
Now, how does that work? So a coach come to you or?
Coach came to me and said he didn't want to be talking to the media at that time because he said that some of the players couldn't handle what I said about them.
Did he agree with you? I mean, did he kind of like?
Oh, he knew that. I mean, everybody knew. I was the only one that spoke it, because I'm a QB. So I got the floor. Hey, man, I feel like we quit, and it wasn't directed at anybody. It was a team effort. We quit. But yeah, we lost that game, and then we didn't lose no more into that. I mean, we went on and drove Syracuse and McNabb in the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah, so I was gonna talk about that, man. So how was that experience? So how was that experience going to Fiesta Bowl, first of all, and playing McNabb and beating him? Did you know McNabb? I mean, did you know who he was? Or?
I didn't know McNabb. I started watching film. I sneak in the defense room and watch what they're looking at. And the first time I seen McNabb, was on film. But true story, we went to Arizona for the Fiesta Bowl, and Greg can attest to this. They had these teams. You come in, you do these different activities. So they had this little armchair quarterback thing. So they had K-State QB versus Syracuse QB. So of course I win it, and I never will forget this. Dominic McNabb told me, he said, you can win the kid game. I'm gonna win the big game. And a brawl broke out after that. We had a fight before the game.
What?
K-State versus Syracuse at Dave & Buster's. That's where we was at.
At Dave & Buster's.
So everybody got into it, man. Everybody got.
That's why alligator shit come on right at Dave & Buster's.
Yeah. But fast forward to that. I mean, after the game, I got to say, hey man, I won both games. You know, and at that time he was trying to come out early, but he stayed another year. Because you got out before.
He made that boy stay another year.
Come out, yep, exactly.
You made him play a whole another 12 games.
A whole another 12 games.
Man, that boy.
because he didn't get the show you wanted. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, that day was my show. It was, you watch the Mike B show now. You know what I'm saying?
Man, he didn't count down about 2 meals, man. He count down about 2 meals, man. Damn, Mike B ain't shit, man. Alright, man. So your freshman year, man, talk about being a newcomer player of the year, man. Talk about that, your junior year.
Man, it was just, I was just being me, man. I was being the best Mike that I can be. I was trying to be the best teammate, best QB I can be. And, you know, and I know a lot of people don't give other people credit, but I don't do any of that without my offensive line, without the running backs, without the receivers, because, you know, I can't throw and catch myself. I had a great group around me, man, which made me elevate my game and elevate, you know, my level of playing in the Big 12, because back then Big 12 was tough.
Right, yeah, that was the old Big 12, the real Big 12. Yes, sir.
So I got to give them all the credit, man, because you know, without their motivation, you know, I had motivation, but they made me take it through the roof.
Man, who were some of your? I guess who were some of your guys that some of your playmakers on offense? If you could name them, a couple.
Man, we had Darnell McDonald, about 6'4", 215, 216 receiver. Number 80, he was catching everything. I had Aaron Lockett, which is Tyler Lockett's uncle, which is Kevin Lockett's brother. And Kevin Lockett is Tyler Lockett's dad. So that whole Lockett family came through K-State.
Wow.
So and Aaron was, you know, 4'2", So, you know, I get it to him, and he made, you know, 1 or 2 guys misses to the house. They had other receivers, tight ends, a kid named Justin Swift, Gavin Parise. Those guys were making all kind of catches that kept us, you know. And if it's 3rd and 17, they knew I was gonna get it down there to them. So, you know, they thrived on my energy. And I think I had a high energy on every single play, man. So that's what kept them going. And anytime I scrambled, you know, they knew. Yeah. Let me get in his eyesight.
Break loose. Let me break loose.
You know, I'm gonna let it go. You know.
Yeah.
Did y'all have like scramble drills and stuff like that in practice, or just something that y'all?
No, at K-State we practice every situation, man.
Really?
So I used to hate this scramble drill because, you know, we would drop back and, you know, they would turn the music on loudspeakers and then you know, you just gotta listen for a clap to go get outside the pocket. We had condition drills that were scramble drills. So instead of running like gases and stuff like that, we would be on the field on the 20, going a long way. Our 5-step drop, play action, and everybody stand in their spot. And then when they blow the whistle, boom, I'm either gonna get out right or get out left. And the receivers, they gotta know they're coming across, coming back to me, and they filmed everything. And we had people lose playing time because of scramble drills.
So they embraced your talent.
They embraced
because that was a natural born talent, and that's why I looked at it when I was reviewing film. I was like, man, how you moving that fast and can still hit people 40, 50 yards down the field on the line? You know, I'm like, that's a hell of a God-given gift right there.
Some of those plays and some highlights, man, believe it or not, man, we practice stuff like that.
Right.
We practice stuff like that. Even on our time.
I never knew that because it looked, I mean, it's phenomenal whether I practice or not, you know, because you can practice it all day. You never know how the defense will react to the scramble drill, right? But it's how when you break contain and you rolling, it's not the fact that you can make the throw. I'm not talking about no 5-10 yard throw. You going down the field, man.
Dropping it in the bucket.
You rolling out this way and you going down the line the opposite way. That is abnormal, man. That's abnormal as hell.
But we had made a lot of plays like that, so I was accustomed to it, and they knew that, you know, if I got a chance to get it out, I'm getting it out.
Right.
So they knew that. So, you know, they loved it more than I loved it, you know, because it was yak for the receivers.
Oh yeah, you know, wide receivers they gonna love yak all day.
Yeah, most definitely. So at that point, why didn't you leave your junior year?
You know, I wanted to win a title, man. At that level, that's what I wanted, you know. And at that time, I think Peyton Manning and what's the kid name?
Was it
one went to jail?
Ryan Leaf. Yeah.
They were so
that's the hell way to remember his name.
They were so hyped on those two.
Yeah.
And then after those two, you know, you just forgot about quarterbacks in the draft. And I think that's why McNabb was really trying to leave. But if I can go back, then, you know, maybe I would have tried to come out that year. Who knows, my path would have been different. I might not have went to New England, and I might have went somewhere where it really gave me an opportunity to play ball. So if I can go back, I may take that leap and try to get out of there at that time.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. So talk about the 1998 Big 12 championship game. Mm-hmm. And like I say, if you win that, you get to the national championship. So kind of talk about that game. See,
that it's confusing to me because well, number one, A&M shouldn't have been close to us. You know, it should have been a blowout. You know, we were up 27-13, and for the first time, you know, we got off the gas. And not player-wise, but coach, the whole thing changed. Let's hand the ball up, hand the ball off. You know, throw a hit here instead of let's go get it. You know, I've been a go get it guy. Let's attack him. Let's go 70. Right. And we started, you know, 3 and out, and they kept getting the ball back, and they was making plays. You got to give them credit; they made plays. But in the end, I don't know if y'all remember, but I threw a Hail Mary, and my receiver catches it on the 1 yard line and falls backwards instead of falling into the end zone. So we never go into overtime if he do that. And just knowing where you at on the field.
Most definitely.
And we had practiced that too, so you know he knew where to go. He just went out the way. Did Sir Parker score? Absolutely not. I got it on my phone. I can show it to you. He's a yard away from the end zone. He's a yard away. The ref made the call and ran out the field.
God. So, dang.
But we should have never been in that situation. But I say this, and I said this to a reporter the other day. We were 12-1 with their loss. They took a 9-2 team to play for the title. Tennessee was 12-0. Florida State was 9-2. So if we were 13-0, I don't think they would let us play for it. They didn't respect us enough to let us get it. Because really, 12-1, you still should play for it. Yes, but you take a 9-2 team in Florida State and let them play for it. And Florida State go there and can't
that was Tennessee. I don't even want to call it that BCS.
BCS, the first year of the BCS.
And you know
I'll tell you what. Well, I'll let you in on this. So the BCS, they say that it's all with this computerized stuff.
Right.
So you tell me how in the world could, because they didn't have a place for us to go. But then they said, oh, well, they took a team out of Alamo Bowl and sent us to the Alamo Bowl. So just think about that. If you know you're going to Alamo Bowl, they tell you you're not going to the bowl because they're going to put K-State there. So when they talk about the BCS, I think, and to this day, man, it's already predetermined. They want who they want. They want schools that's gonna bring money to them and put money in their pocket. Right, that's what they want. Because if it was truth about it, then we would still play for it. Right. With a 12-1 record.
Most definitely. Who y'all end up playing Alamo Bowl?
We played against Drew Brees, Purdue.
Oh, Purdue. You threw his ass up or what?
No. They beat us by 3.
Damn.
But they was blowing us out.
Yeah.
So before that, you know, as a team, we took a vote. We wasn't going to the Alamo Bowl.
Really?
So we didn't even practice. I mean, we practiced for about a week. That was it. We came down when we were supposed to come down, and we literally took a vote, and our coach stood with us. We was like, no, I mean, we don't want to go to the Alamo Bowl. They screwed us. BCS screwed us. We don't want to go there. And so we took that vote, and then, like I said, we got down, and 3 of our starters couldn't start because they was out of strip club. In San Antonio.
Damn.
Because nobody wanted to play. But then once we got there in Purdue, I mean, they had us down by like, I don't know, 14, 15 points. And then we fought back. So they ended up beating us by 3.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Man, how's that whole bowl experience? I know some people like, depending on what bowl you go to, I know some people, they get PlayStations and stuff like that. Like, how's that bowl experience? At this point, you've been to 2 of them.
Yeah, at the bigger bowls you go to, the more you get. I think Fiesta Bowl, we got like $2,700 a piece.
Really?
Cash per player. They gave us, back then it was a little portable TVs. You get watches, sweatsuits. They give you vouchers to like the little sport, like, Foot Locker or whatever. You may get $200 voucher. You go there, you got to use it that week. And so, but if you go to a lower bowl, you're going to get a sweat. Everybody can get a sweat, so you might get $700. But the object is if you can get me that at the bowl, then you can pay me for the whole season. Hey. You know what I'm saying? And it makes sense.
Give you everything but the money. They give you everything but the money. So, hey, before we move on, because we about to go to the NFL.
No, I got something.
Before we move on, we're going to take us a break. Try to go to the what's it called? We're going to take us a break, and we're coming right back with y'all. We got Michael Bishop, the legend. And we'll get back with y'all. I got my producer in here. Hey, trailing out suspension, man. He wrecking today, y'all. He wrecking today, man. But we'll be back here in a second, man. Y'all come on back with us, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in Thirsty Thursday. We'll be back. There we go.
Turn the music out.
You ready to go back in?
Yeah.
You ready? That's that polio, man. That man say he never had to worry about the right side. The polio was over there, man. That is gangster, man. Okay, we there? We back, y'all. We got the legendary Michael Bishop here. You know what I'm saying? He's giving us the good game from Spain, some news we can use, you know what I'm saying? And we gonna get into it. And once again, we gonna talk about it. What's going down? Go ahead, Johnny.
Yeah, man. So this one right here, man. So I definitely want to get your take on this one. Talk about Ricky Williams winning the Heisman Trophy over you. And your team had better numbers. You only lost 3 games in 2 seasons. And you got the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year. So how can you get the Offensive Player of the Year, but then you lose to a person in your same conference that you beat an Offensive Player of the Year?
Well, I'm going to tell you, when it came to the Heisman, man, you know, they said that we had to play against each other. And so whoever had a better game was supposed to win it. Ricky had, I think, like 25 yards rushing on 40-some carries against my defense. I think I rushed for like 170-some yards and threw for like 333. So I played him that game. We beat him 49-7. So we get to New York, and a lot of people don't know this, but Master P was trying to be an agent, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So Master P comes in, and we at the Downtown Athletic Club in New York. And he comes in, he said $100,000 here, $100,000 here in the bag. And he said, I want to be your agent. Me at the time, like, I knew who Master P was. Ricky knew who he was. I'm good with the music, you know. And when he came in, he was 100 deep, at least 100 deep. And I mean, he had some dudes that didn't blink that was around him.
So hold on. So it's 2 college kids there.
2 college kids.
He said 100 racks for both y'all on the table. Yeah. And then got all the goons in there with him.
Yes. So true story. So he says, I want y'all to be a part of No Limit. Me, I said, man, I gotta talk to my parents. So when I looked at Rick said, if you don't want it, I'm taking it. Rick took both bags.
And bought some weed. I mean,
true story. He took both bags and he signed with No Limit.
So he took your money and his money.
Took the money. He took the money and signed with him. True story, man. But fast forward to that, you know.
I bet you don't. Nobody. Have you ever told that before?
I never told that, man. True story.
No excuses.
Yeah, true story. So he took both.
God damn, man.
But it let me honestly, and there's no shade or nothing. It let me know that some people been taking money.
Yeah,
because it's too natural. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't take it. And I didn't sign with him. He signed with him, and everybody know the deal that, you know, how everything unfolded with him and No Limit and the amount of money they got with New Orleans. But leading up to the Heisman, man, you know, there was no reason why I don't think I should have won it. And being in that room, you get to meet all the ones that still living, all the people that won the Heisman. They coming in and
how did they respond to you?
I mean, the response was great. Like, that's K-State QB right there. So I was like, yeah, you know, cool, you know. And me talking to, you know, Charles Wilson was in there. You got the ones that still living, they was there. So I got to meet some great running backs. Eddie George, all them guys were there. So I'm like, okay, well, you know, I got a chance to win this. I got the numbers, you know, I did my thing. But the day of the Heisman race, when they put it on TV, nobody knows who's going to win. You sitting down, you're nervous, you don't know. It was Ricky Williams, me, Cade McNown, and Tim Couch. So they always show the episode on ESPN Classic type stuff. So if you ever watch that, when they call Ricky's name, I'm the first one to clap.
Yeah.
The other 2 didn't clap. Well, they didn't clap when I clapped. So I stood up, I was like, boom, boom, because I'm like, okay, well, I'd rather you win it if I don't win it. You know? So when he won it, and when all that said and done, they're taking pictures, I'm sitting back and I'm watching, I'm like, ain't no way, something ain't right, you know, something ain't right. So I'm talking to my people from KC. I'm like, man, what happened? What's the deal? Well, you know, we thought you was gonna win it, but then I knew. And if you go back and look at all the history, every quarterback that has won a David O'Brien has won a Heisman. So I figured that they had to give me something because I did too much for college football. there was too much history from me being at K-State. There were so many things that hadn't been done while I was at K-State. So they had to give me something. Because I was runner up for the Maxwell, I was runner up for the Johnny Unitas. I had made All-American, consensus All-American. So I had everything that I could be a part of, I was a part of, except for the Heisman. But whenever K-State plays UT and we go to Austin, I see Rick doing his thing. I walk right up to the stage and I told him to his face, the trophy should be mine. So we kind of laugh about it, But I be dead serious every single time, the trophy should be mine. And
it don't
sit right with me.
And the reason why it don't sit right with me is because I see these, and now, because in 2020 they don't hide it no more.
They don't hide it no more, yeah.
And I appreciate them not hiding it no more, because now we ain't getting hit in the back of the head with it no more, right? Like situations like yours. Yeah. They would verify you being he's a Heisman Trophy winning black quarterback.
Right.
Now we push him to the NFL monster. Will make you look bad if you can't do nothing good.
You can't do nothing good.
It's easier to give it to the running back, the black running back, over the black quarterback.
Right.
Because now I'm putting pressure on this big ass machine called the NFL. Hey, we gave him the Heisman Trophy. NCAA told you how good he is.
Yes. Right.
He's the best player in college football.
And
now y'all deal with it.
And if you go back and you do your research, some of the QBs that won the Heisman didn't pan out.
No.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't pan out.
I looked at it a different way when I read it, right? Because even now, UT hasn't been winning, right? And they still have grossed the most money out of any other college.
Yeah.
They beat Alabama, they beat Ohio State, they beat LSU. So you think about that big monster with all that money they made.
Yeah.
They're gonna buy. It's a piece of the Heisman Trophy.
And the thing about it is with University of Texas, they had Ricky on billboards.
Yep.
They promoted everything.
Most definitely.
State of Kansas, the biggest thing come out of Kansas is K-State football.
Right.
So you can only promote so much there in Kansas. And I just think if I had worldwide promotion or nationwide promotion, then it could be a different story.
It was a different monster, because when they go out votes is based on visibility.
Right.
And the reason why a lot of us knew you is because that was one of the few black quarterbacks you had. Like even when I played quarterback in junior high, you was one of the quarterbacks I looked up to, and I'm like, okay, I don't have too many people like me to look at, but when I seen how they done the black quarterbacks I was looking at, it deterred people like me and myself from playing that position.
Right.
Even to this day, I won't allow my kids to play the position. Yeah. And my oldest boy got a damn good arm. I don't allow it because I see it. I think I may be traumatized for what I seen y'all go through. I'm like, damn, man, I didn't see.
It's pitiful, man, because when you look at it, they try to find everything to say you can't.
Right.
You can be 12-0, but they're gonna find something to say.
They don't pick and choose.
They pick and choose. So
we seen them do it. They do it now. This may be the first draft. They can't do it no more. Because they've been proven wrong so many different times. And all it's about is with the same rules with every quarterback.
Right.
The right system at the right time with the right coach.
That's it.
You will prosper.
Yep. Absolutely.
It's not all
when given that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man, so who are some of the quarterbacks you went against to win a Davey O'Brien?
Back then, McNabb, Dante Culpepper, Akili Smith, Sean King. Those are the ones that I competed against at the QB Challenge. See, a lot of people forget about that too. I won the college QB Challenge. Accuracy, distance, all that. I got a trophy at the house too. I should have brought that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I won it. Back then it was a compact QB All-Star Challenge.
Right.
So all those QBs that went first round, I competed against, and me, I'm trying to win everything.
Right.
So, but I had opportunity against, Akili Smith and all. I'm like, okay, you know what? I got to do my thing, which I have been doing all my life.
Right.
So I was able to sit back and see the directions they went, and I think about it all the time. I'm like, if I had got a chance to go to Cincinnati, what would I have done? If I had a chance to go to Minnesota, what would I have done? If I had a chance to go to Philly, what would I have done? But I ended up going to New England. It's a totally different story in New England. Total different story.
I don't want to even jump your gun because we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, all right. So, talk about the feeling of getting drafted. Let's talk about that feeling. We'll get into the actual factual with NFL. But just the feeling of you getting drafted, how was that feeling?
Man, for me, I sat back and I didn't go anywhere. I stayed at the crib. I had all my family there, had all my friends there. We fried fish, we barbecue, we did everything, man. So
did what we do.
Yeah, do what we do. Cause my thing is, it ain't no sense of changing nothing now. This is me.
Right.
So I was at home and comfortable now, because the draft can make you or break you. It can make you ball up and cry like a baby because you get all these phone calls. We want to take you with this pick. And Greg can attest to this. We're going to take you with that pick. You're going to be the next pick. And you sit there and you be like, you tell your boys, they about to show my name on the bottom, ESPN. And somebody else get picked. And then all of a sudden you're like, I thought you just got on the phone with him. You just talked to him.
Who were some of those calls?
Man, I had calls from Miami, Cleveland, Oakland.
And what round?
They was all talking first round first, so I'm like, I'm like, cool, I did my thing, and then I watched the first round go by, watched the second round go by, watched the third. After the third round, I said, you know what, I'm going to play basketball. Then, my mom called me and said, hey, somebody just called me there, they're gonna call right back. So when I get back then, it's Bobby Grill from New England, he's a black general manager at the time, and he tells me, saying, we're gonna take you with the next pick. I don't sound excited because I know New England and I know they got a drop back QB, so I'm like, okay, well, I appreciate it.
Bledsoe was at the time.
Yeah, Bledsoe.
Yeah. They just gave him some money.
Right?
They gave him $100 million.
They gave him $100 million.
Pete Carroll, right?
Pete Carroll first year. So when they tell me that, I was like, okay, cool, So you don't sound excited. But in the back of my mind, I was like, no, I'm really not excited because I see what this could be, So lo and behold, next pick, they picked me. So then they called me back and Pete Carroll, and then the lady gets on the phone and tell me, hey, we're getting your flight and stuff ready, you're gonna leave out on Sunday, I'm gonna call you back with the times. So, I go through all that and, when I hang up, I see my name and of course everybody go crazy because they see your name there and they say, okay, well, we done made it to the league. But we ain't made it to the league yet because you still got to go through hula hoops. Yeah. It don't matter if you drop, you still got to go through all that stuff. And it's tough because me, when I got there, I was only black in the room. I was only black in the QB room. I was only black in the meetings. And you can just see, you can really feel like tension from other quarterbacks that was in that room because I can do something they couldn't do. I can run that throw.
Use that X.
Yeah, they can drop back. So at that point, I had to, I really had to think about it. Am I the black sheep in this room, or what is it?
Literally.
Yeah, literally.
No,
yeah. For real though. So, and all that was going through my mind because all those other quarterbacks couldn't do what I can do, and I knew that. And so then it's a matter of, are you gonna get an opportunity here? And then as things go on, you start seeing that you might not get that opportunity. That's the toughest thing is coming off being able to play every game and be able to put up good numbers and being able to celebrate with your teammates to just sitting there hoping that you see your name on a practice script for 5 plays. Because it's cutthroat like that. If somebody, you get lucky, they throw 4 plays in the end. But you run scout team all day and do your thing. But, I had to learn how to, be good on scout team to get the boys ready for whatever team we playing. That's what it really came down to, man, because, like I say, playing QB and being a black QB at that, you never know. And then if you get a shot, like I came in a couple times on 3rd down and, you may get a first down, but the hardest thing is looking to that sideline and you seeing somebody running back out there. Then you got to go back out there and then you got to wait to see if you're going to give them an opportunity. The worst and best thing that ever happened is against the Colts when they talked about throwing a Hail Mary.
Right.
And when Charlie Weiss looked at me and was like, we're gonna let you throw it. Okay, cool.
Because you had the biggest on.
I know I can throw it down there. That's no issue. But what got them is, and if you can go back and look at the tape and you can look at the actual tape, when that ball is completed, you see them like, oh man. Like you weren't supposed to complete that. The hair's supposed to be over. But in my mind, I know, you know what, you gonna give me one shot, I'm gonna take my shot.
Right.
And I'm gonna jump on top of it. Perfect spiral. Tony Simmons come down with it. We ain't supposed to do that. I don't even think I threw the Hail Mary in practice, did I, G? I didn't even throw it in practice.
Y'all ain't practicing, G?
I didn't throw it. Yeah, Bledsoe threw it. But in the game, I throw it.
Oh, so hold on.
Yeah.
Are we still in Pete Carroll days or this Bill Belichick?
No, this is Belichick.
This Belichick. You said Charlie Weiss. Okay.
Charlie Weiss. Well, back on Pete. Pete was. I think Pete is a player coach. Mm-hmm. Everybody liked Pete. I think New England should have held on to Pete because that year we went 5-11. It wasn't Pete's fault. Mm-hmm. We just wasn't making plays. from the QB standpoint.
No doubt.
You know, nothing against Bledsoe, but that wasn't his best year.
How was your relationship with Bledsoe?
Man, I'll tell you, and this honest truth, that year Bledsoe might have said 15 words to me. So, it wasn't no conversations, man.
You was his direct backup.
Yes, but it was me. John Freeze was older than Bledsoe. John Freeze never talked. And if they talked about fishing. So I was hearing conversations about them fishing, but I was never in the conversation. So it can be like us sitting here and they talk about fishing. I'm like, okay, and that's how it was. But I understood the magnitude. You got a guy that's been playing. You got a guy that's been in the league 17 years, with John Freeze. He holding on, still getting $850,000 to be a backup. When you know the way the game, I look at the game now. If I'm not going to hold you back, as bad as I want to play, as bad as I want to get this money, and you young, I got to move out the way and let you get it.
Right.
That's respect. You know what I'm saying? But back then they was letting people hold on to it. And so I think if Pete Carroll had his way, it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
Whole different ball game. Nothing against Brady, but it's a whole different ball game. If I get the proper shot that I felt I deserved, we may never hear about Brady.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And now going on to the second year, when Belichick come, Charlie Weiss come and all that, that's when I really started, Charlie Weiss was, we had a guy named Dick Raybon, and a lot of people don't know this, but Dick Raybon had a heart attack on the treadmill, died during that training camp. So then Charlie Weiss come in, and it's a whole different ballgame.
So Dick Raybon was the coach?
Dick Raybon was quarterback coach.
Wow.
And Dick Raybon was actually talking to me. My first year we had Ernest Zampese and Jack Riley. They both went to Dallas after that. Never said a word to me. Now they old school. Never said a word to me.
By old school, you know what you're trying to say.
I mean, they old school. Never said a word to me, man. I mean, we come in, we go over the game plan, and nothing. Everything was directed towards Drew, which I understand that, but you got to be ready. You got to make sure somebody else ready.
Drew get knocked out play one of the game.
Then you know what? It was gonna be crazy because I was running a scout team my first year, but I probably got like 3 plays at the end of practice, and 2 of them maybe a handoff and 1 pass.
So why they just ain't cut you unless you got on?
They should have. Now, from what I was told later on, that Miami tried to get me and they wouldn't let me go to Miami.
Because that's in the division.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if that happens, man,
that's a game changer.
It's a game changer.
It's a game changer.
Is that the year Nick Saban trying to go over there at that time? Is that year? I don't know who head coach of Miami at that time.
That was before Saban.
That was
before Saban.
So man, it's like I say, people think about the NFL and they think about they only see or understand what they see on Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays, Saturdays. But it's so much nonsense that goes on with it, man, that the outside world never understand. Sometimes, man, it'll make you lose your mind because this is what you've been doing all your life. And one person tell you can't do it.
What's that?
And one person tell you can't do it.
With no reason behind it.
Hey, we're gonna release you. What I do? Tell me what I did wrong so I know.
Just cause.
So I know. Yeah. Oh, it's a numbers game. No, it's not a numbers game. That's the most answer that they can give. Oh, it's a numbers game, and we gotta fit this. We gotta fit that. No, man. I'd rather you tell me straight up. If you tell me I can't play, then I know you're lying to me.
Yeah.
But if you tell me something else, give me the reason. Oh, such and such don't like you. You're a threat. Then I can understand that. I can understand that, but don't lie to me. You know what I'm saying? So that's all across the board. Every position get lied to at some point.
So, man, I'm glad we're talking about this. So I'm big on this, man, as far as the mental health as athletes. Like, so when you're an athlete, you deal with being told, no, you're not good enough.
Right.
Some people, it comes at different times. For some people, it's early.
Yeah.
For some people, it's later. Mm. But what got you through those times? I mean, did you go through, and I'm asking this humbly, but did you go through what some people would call depression at that time? Because you know what you can do. You're not being allowed to do what you can do, right? So it puts you in something. And what got you through that? Because I know you said your father was a pastor,
right,
and maybe your spirituality got you through that. So,
man, I tell you, growing up and doing all the things I did when I was growing up, I know that God blessed you with a gift. Mm. That gift is in you. Can't nobody put that gift in you but God. And so my gift was I could play football. My gift was I could run, I could throw. So couldn't nobody tell me I couldn't do that because I can do that.
Right.
And they couldn't take it away from me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they couldn't take it away from me. The only way they can take it away is not playing me.
Mm-hmm.
So I stayed positive and kept my good senses because I know that God gave me this. You didn't give me that.
So you can't take it away.
You can't take it away.
Right.
So when you release me from this situation. You don't release my gift. I went on to play 11, 12 years up in the CFL after that. Mm-hmm. So you don't take my gift. You just take me from this situation that I had to go through to understand and see all this stuff.
Right.
Because at times I've asked myself, why New England? Why keep me there and let me see all this stuff instead of letting me go to Miami? You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
So everything has for a reason. Sometimes we don't understand the reason, but we can't really question God.
Most definitely.
But a lot of times, us as people, we question.
I don't know about it.
Yeah, but I knew my talent, I knew my gift. So whether if I played 30 games for New England, I knew that they couldn't take what was inside of me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So would you say your spirituality got you through that?
Spirituality got me through it, man, because and like I said, Greg can say it too, man, when you playing football in the National League, even at the college level, man, some days you really got to question, man, do I need to keep doing this? Do I want to keep putting my body through this, or do I got to keep hearing this man tell me I can't play? Do I keep staying away from my family because football takes up time? What am I missing at home? Because being on the road and going to these hotels and playing on Sundays and then getting right back up on Monday when Tuesday you're supposed to be off and you're still up there. So things happen to make you really sad.
Tuesday you're supposed to be out,
but you're still up there.
In New England.
You got
work on your day off.
You got to work on your day off. Because it's in every aspect of life. But what you're not doing, somebody else gonna do. So if they look around and don't see you there on your day off, and your backup is in there killing the weight room, then you don't want it as bad as he wants.
That's the coach over there.
That's the coach over there. Yeah.
Oh, we gonna talk about it, Greg. Where you at, Greg? We gonna talk about it, man.
I want to ask you this. This is real big for me, man. Is it a scripture that you hold on to? Do you have a favorite scripture that you hold on to that gets you through those things? Like, it's kids watching this, right? I think we get to the point. Google is the best and worst thing for us because now I think we got so smart that we think we don't need God. Right. You know what I'm saying? We get so smart now. It's like, we think we don't need God, but is it a scripture that got you through that hard time or get you through your hard time? Man, I tell you, mine is simple. John 3:16, man. And I mean, that's universal for everybody. Yeah. But going away from the scripture, man, I have a quote that I kept with me my whole entire life, and I tell kids now, in order to sell the high seas of tomorrow, one cannot be anchored to yesterday. So whatever's happening, gonna happen. I can't get stuck in that. I can't get stuck in that. It's like if I'm walking and I step in some dog stuff. Either I'm gonna clean off my shoe, or I'm gonna keep walking and let it clean off on its own. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So regardless, I gotta make a decision. You know what I mean? Right. So for me, I don't get caught stuck with that. You know what I'm saying? So whatever happens, it's gonna happen. But at the end of the day, I still gotta rise. I still gotta be Mike. So I'm gonna do all I can be to be the best Mike, because I don't know who's watching me. I don't know if your son see me at the gas station, see me doing something, then like, oh, blase. So I don't ever want to give anybody something to say, well, Mike did that and nothing happened, or Mike did this and this happened. So I'm always trying to be the best I can be, because at the end of the day, it's about the next generation. So if I leave here tomorrow, I want somebody to say, well, Mike was a good dude. Mike never complained about this, and if he did complain about it, he found a way to get around it. Right. So that's what I want to. That's my legacy. You know what I mean?
That's great. That's real. That's great.
So you were there a year before. Our legend Greg Randall and Tom Brady, but. So Tom Brady comes in, and while you were there, did you see that greatness in Tom Brady? Like could you see what happened? I'm gonna tell you, what I seen in Brady, I seen a tall, white, skinny guy. I seen him in sweats. I seen him in shorts. He never looked like a football player. But what I did see is I seen him always talking to Robert Kraft. During the time I was there, I seen him always talking to Belichick. It may be a small conversation, but when you out of the game, do you look back to it? What was those conversations about? You know what I'm saying? So it can go either way, but I will say this, and
me and Brady made a pact to each other. I don't think Brady really liked Bledsoe, and he seen how Bledsoe was treating me. So he told me, hey, if you ever get a shot, don't give it back. And I told him the same thing. If you get a shot, don't give it back. And lo and behold, Drew take the hit. You ain't never supposed to lose your position on the injury. At least that's what they say.
Yeah.
But that was the end of his ride.
See, I made a pact with each other.
If you get it, don't give it back.
Ooh. So it seemed like, I'm glad you and Tom Brady actually had a relationship. So he talked to you.
Yes.
You guys had a relationship. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Even in the quarterback meetings, like I said, Drew never said nothing. And at the time, second year, Damon Hurt was there. And they never really said anything. But the two guys who wasn't playing, we talk all the time. You can be on silence, standing beside each other, and you can whisper a conversation. As long as the cameras ain't around, you know what you.
Yeah.
Because they got cameras everywhere. You know
as
what I mean?
soon as he get hit, boy, we ain't letting it go.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't like that mofo. Mm-hmm. So Greg gets drafted. He comes in. How happy are you to see somebody that's from the same, I say Texas, right? The same, I would say same area. Willis, you ain't too far from us, right? But like from your same area, you played against them in high school and college. How happy were you to see him come in?
Oh man, I was very happy, and I think when Greg got there, Greg was able to see how the politics of the game would go.
The Belichick way.
He was able to see that, but Greg's situation was different. They needed Greg. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So they would pick at Greg a little bit, but Greg never talked. Greg gonna sit back. Greg gonna be Greg. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, when I was there, some of the stuff that was going on, it'll make the common man in the world go crazy sometimes. Mm-hmm. And so he can attest to that too. Playing with the money, playing with the reps, playing with all this. Or we're gonna sit you down this week. You're gonna dress next week. So he got to experience a whole lot of nonsense.
Yeah.
Man, speak about some ways that the NFL play with your money. See, a lot of guys don't understand this, right? So you have things in your contract to say if you start X amount of games. If I start 9 games, I'm gonna get this extra $300,000. Well, come to that, I play 8 games. It comes to that 9th game. What might happen to if I'm in New England?
You got situations where, say, if you get $2 million if you reach this incentive, so you can be 100 yards away from your incentive. And for some reason you're not dressing for this game. When you don't dress for this game, you lose your incentive.
Yeah.
So they find ways to save money. It's at the end of the day, the owners and the people who deal with the money, they treat it like a business, but you get screwed in the business as well. Because you got to take care of your family, and this is your means to take care of your family. Mm-hmm. And your family know you get 100 yards, we finna get this check, this extra check. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, you over there in sweats, or you in street clothes, or you up in the box, perfectly healthy, and everybody's saying he was scratched at the last minute. So they find ways to make you learn the business and try to get all the money you can, and try to hold out for training camp so you can get your money. So I don't be mad at anybody who don't go to training camp. Because if you hold out and you can get more money up front, then you can live with it.
So with that being said, and that mindset, because we going through, you see it on my wall, I'm a Cowboys fan, right? Will you ever speak against any player, no matter if it's your favorite NFL team or not, trying to get his money? Knowing how they play.
Hey, I'll tell you like this. I would never do that, because once you've been in that locker room and once you've dealt with those people, we'll say it like this. Jerry Jones. Everybody know the type of money he got.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you Ezekiel Elliott, when I give you $20 million, that's like giving you $20. Because I'm gonna make 20 off parking lot. Right. I'm gonna make 20 off beer.
That's true.
I'm gonna make all this money that I just gave you. So you got players who sit out because they became aware of the situation. And really, when you think about it, if somebody signed you for 6 years, $30 million, you're never gonna see $30 million. Mm-hmm. So your job is to get what you can get while you can get it.
Right.
Because once they say that I've had enough of you, you're done.
Mm-hmm. And how often do you see players fulfill their whole contract? Say for instance, I sign a $140 million deal. Yeah. What are the chances that I reach the end of that $140 million deal?
They slim to none, because you can be as close as you can reach out and touch that deal. and they'll find a reason to go get another player. Or they'll find a reason for you to get mad and you just start bucking the system. When you buck the system, you're a problem.
Right.
If you're a problem, we got to go get somebody else.
And no matter,
but you know what they do? And this is the way the world is. They go out and get the next young, hungry guy that wants to come in there and play, that wants opportunity.
Cheap labor.
Cheap labor.
So it don't matter if you Pat Mahomes or Dak Prescott. If they sign Pat Mahomes for $200 million, would he reach the end of that $200 million?
See, Kansas City is a different story. They love Pat.
Yeah.
Right.
You got different teams that
and he play quarterback.
Yeah, you got people. You got teams that literally take care of their players, but every team is not like that. I think Kansas City, they'll give him his money because he won him a championship. They're gonna give him his money. They're gonna give him,
he won him the championship.
Yeah, they're gonna give him his respect.
Yeah, they won
because
the championship.
when he won that championship, he put more money
in the organization.
In the organization to the owners. Don't everybody get more money? Now you the king of the league. You know. So you might see all that.
In this microwave society, do you think they give a damn about that 5 years from now, though?
Oh no! I mean, because they're gonna
5 years, $200 million.
No, that's $200 million. If I can pay you $200 million, how much you think I got?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
If I can pay you $200 million, what I got?
Yeah.
So that's chump change, man.
Right.
But when I say it's chump change, if you never seen $200 million, you gonna ball out.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you nothing, and I shouldn't be able to tell you nothing because it's your money. Now the fact is, can you handle that money? Can you still be the same person you are with that money than you was without that money?
Right.
That's what we fall off at. Because money changed a lot of people in the league. Money make people run through your garage. No, they can't get through that, but they're gonna run through it.
They're gonna try.
They're gonna try to run through it. So the biggest thing about being in the league is don't forget where you come from. Can you maintain?
Right.
And with us, man, it's a shame that some of us don't maintain. Some of us just fall off the earth, man. They basically set. Sometimes you can be set up for failure because they know you want this money, and they're gonna give it to you, and they know in 3 years I'm gonna get all this back. Because you're gonna do something where I can take my signing bonus back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's ways to when you think you got that money, you ain't got that money.
They gonna play with you. So you might as well max out when you can, when you at the dinner table. You might as well try to get in their pockets.
And that's why a lot of people try to do that, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't blame them at all.
Yeah.
Right.
Man, so I remember a preseason game. I remember I was watching New England Patriots, right? You come in, I forget it, maybe second, third quarter, and you run an option. You take that mofo for maybe 50.
Oh, against San Fran.
Yeah, I remember that play like I remember like it was yesterday.
Untouched.
How did that feel, man?
Man, it felt amazing because I was able to actually reflect and say, Mike, you still got the gift.
You special.
You still doing it.
Yeah.
You know, nobody was running option in there. Mm-hmm. They called the play just to get it on tape.
Really?
But what they didn't know is, you want me to carry it? I got you. I get to the zone because I don't know if you're going to let me play another.
Right.
So every play that I really had, man, I tried to get it to the zone, man, because I was in that factor of I don't know, you know. And that's a hard game to play when you're playing quarterback.
What's the play call? What's the actual call?
Man, I can't remember. I remember a whole lot. I don't remember. I just know it was, you know, because there is a lot of verbiage, man. I know it was counter trap option left.
Okay.
But prior to, you know, the formation, all that, I forgot all that.
Okay, that's cool. So now, like I said, we get to Canadian football. How much different was the CFL than traditional football?
Oh man, CFL field is longer, it's wider. It's 20-second play clock. That's 12 on 12. It's not 11 on 11.
Yeah.
And you know, the kicking game is crazy. You can punt, and you can punt it through the end zone. If they catch it, they can punt it back to you. They catch it, they can punt it back to you. You can punt it back to them. So you're playing for field position. Now, if you kick it through the end zone, you get 1 point. That's why in CFL games, sometimes you see it's 5-3 or 5-4. Because a lot of teams get that 1 point. If you got a kicker that can punt it out the corner end zone, you don't get that point. So that game is different. But the craziest thing I've seen in CFL, you know, 6 guys going motion at one time. So you can line back 15 yards and hit that sucker going 100 miles an hour. Yeah. If you run past that DB, it's gone. You to the house. All you do is have a QB that can drop it. Now, if you're a QB that can run, you know, you can have 100 yards every game rushing. If you're a QB that can run. But the craziest thing in the CFL is every team is going to play 3 games in 11 days because it's only 9 teams up there. So you play 18-game season. So 1 week you're gonna play 3 games in 11 days.
Oh man,
that is a grind, man.
It's a grind. But the best thing about it is when the game's over, your check is in your locker. That's the best thing about the CFL. That's the best thing
we
about the CFL.
We get money out here, baby. Yeah.
Before you take a shower, your check is in the top of that locker. Home or away games.
But I thought NFL the same way too, right? NFL the same way.
I'm talking about this. Your check is in your locker.
Yeah.
Your check, I mean, even the check stuff, it's in your locker. You come up out of it, you ain't got to worry about nothing. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get paid for that game. You ain't got to worry about 15 first. You ain't got to worry about none of that. You finna get that check right after that game.
I want to get some specifics, right? Because I ain't trying to ask you that, but what's the difference between that Canadian money versus the NFL money?
Man, it's just that rate. If that rate could be $65.
That's the economy guy. That's why he asked. He's a stock market guy.
That rate will kill you sometime, man.
What?
It can be 65.
The taxes?
No, just the money exchange rate. Like so say if I want to send my money home, right? So I gotta know somebody that work at the bank, or know somebody that know about the exchange rate, or you get lucky. Some GMs tell you, hey, if I'm gonna pay you because you get paid in Canadian. God. So you put your money in a Canadian bank, and the minute that rate is good, boom, wire it to your account back home. Oh, so sometimes you can win.
I got you.
But if it's a bad exchange rate, you're gonna lose.
God.
It's just like if I'm gonna wire you right now, because I still got money in my Canadian account. If I wire you $90,000 right now, right? By the time you get that U.S. money, it may be $46,000.
God.
Because of the exchange rate right now. So you got to be, when you play in the Canadian League, you can play football, but you got to be paying attention to the exchange rate. I mean, it can be 2 o'clock in the morning, and you can check, and you see it like, boom, you better make that exchange right then and there.
I mean, being an athlete, man, like, do you guys get financial advice and stuff like that to kind of help you, like, hey, 401k, because you guys' career is so short-lived. Who helps you with your 401k and say, hey, I need to put that money up for the future?
So what they do is, and Greg can tell you too, every year they have a rookie symposium. So they give you all these details, about money, security, cities. They give you they say they give you everything, but they give it to you for a week. After the week, if you don't understand it, you're on your own.
That's a lot, yeah.
That's a lot on there. Then if you got a financial advisor or you got people that's on your team and they ain't truthful with you, they can rob you because you ain't thinking about that. You think about playing and staying on the team, not getting cut. And at the same time, they every week they taking money from you. You don't know.
Right. And
you don't know until it's too late when you find out. Well, hold on, man. It's $300,000 missing. Where it go to? Well, Mike, you went and did it. No, I ain't do that. So it's time like that. The biggest thing I seen was what was the agent that Park them had? Tank Black, is that his name? Tank Black was robbing. He was robbing them boys, man. Yeah, he robbing them boys. Yeah, he robbing them boys. But when you playing ball, your biggest fear is getting cut. So you're getting paid for playing, and if you're not out just buying all kind of stuff. You thinking your money is good. You thinking that the people that's working for you is telling your business. If you invest in anything, you thinking they put you in the right investments. Yeah. And the whole time they invest in themselves.
Yeah.
So when you fire the agent, some of them don't be worried about it because they done got you already. They done already got that. They got you.
You find them on the down end. I already hit you.
I mean, for a regular person, right? So agent or not. So when I get paid, it goes to my bank account.
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand, how can a person actually touch your money? If it's in my bank account, it's in my name. Like, how can they swindle me?
Because they got all your information.
God.
They got all your information, and you trusting them. They got your account number. They got all that.
God, man, that is scary. I mean, you putting your body on the line. I mean, you're not getting paid to crunch numbers. You getting paid.
Oh, appreciate it.
You getting paid to put your body on the line.
Yeah.
Man, that's.
Yep.
Take care of your money.
Take care of your money, and if you're gonna have somebody, watch your money. Better be somebody you can trust. But then again, when you think you can trust them, you better double trust them.
Was it hard to adjust to the CFL?
Man, my first game when I got there, the first game I played in the starting QB tore his ACL, second play of the game. So I go in and automatically get the delay game because I'm like, y'all can't move, don't move, because I forgot all that. They started coming. Yeah. But once you adjust and you understand, like, once you understood the dynamics of the game, it became fun because now you seeing how many points you can score or how many yards you can throw for. But the CFL was crazy too because you had at that time you had 3 teams with dome and it's cold up there, man, and it's blizzard.
It's Canadian cold.
It's Canadian cold, man. It's different from here.
I've been to Canada a few times. We was in Newfoundland.
Okay,
so over there. So
you way up there.
Oh no, man, it was horrible, most definitely. So what was more enjoyable to you, arena football or the CFL?
Man, I tell you, arena football for people that ain't never played arena football was like playground football.
Really?
But you get paid for it. 50-yard field. You get hit up against the wall. The fans are right there on you. You don't have to pay. You don't have to pay for housing. They're gonna put you in an apartment.
Really?
Yeah, they're gonna feed you 3 times a day. All you gotta do is come to practice and play ball. So arena football, the original arena football, which I got records still standing now. I was the only QB to rush 400 yards.
Only quarterback rush 400 yards a game. I'm looking like, how do you do that?
On 3 carries. Yeah. But the highlight of that is unreal though, because I had to spin away from some dudes and still show I can outrun some people too though.
Right.
And, I did that against Colorado Crush, I think that was the name of the team. But the arena was live, man, because the fans bought into it and the kids were there. You can interact, you can dance, you can spike the ball, you can punt the ball, you can throw it to the top of the roof. You can do everything.
Were you a showman? At that point, were you an actual showman or were you more of a humble player?
I'm still humble.
Okay.
But I enjoyed, like when I threw the touchdown to the receiver, man, I jogged them 40 yards and I was waiting to see what they were gonna do because they literally put on a show, man. They put on a show with dances and all kinds of stuff because nobody cared about it. You know, they just they have fun. And you had coaches that understood we here to have fun. This is what we're gonna do.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Nah.
It wasn't nobody getting fined. It wasn't none of that.
You
just playing football.
Right. The owners were more. They
was real laid back.
Yeah.
Because it was, you can run a rental team for under $200,000.
Really?
You can pay your players and pay for go to an apartment and get 30 apartments and be cool. Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
You about to leave the league, go to the arena, guys.
That's real. Yeah, for real. Yeah,
so, I'm glad you brought up money. So, not specifics, but I gotta ask it. So at this point, what's the difference in checks? You know what I'm saying? So arena checks, like what's the difference? Is it enough for you to live off of, you as a person, not you as you, but is it enough for a person to live off on, or you being a big name, or are you gonna get a bigger check than maybe the next person? So
what in the rental league, the QBs are making money. So you can make anywhere from $80,000 to I think the highest contract in rental league when I was in it was like $190,000 for the year. And you're only paying for 3 months. God. So you can live off that. But if you got all kind of habits, you can't live off of it. And some players got habits where at the end of the season they got $10,000 left and you can play 12 games, 16 games.
Most definitely.
You got $10,000 to go home with. That's your own fault.
So at this point, you in CFL, have you gotten to the real workforce? And I say like workforce, like regular workforce, right? Yeah. Have you gotten to that, or you just did doing football? Like at that point, have you ever had a regular job in between all that?
No. So I'm gonna tell you, I was the first one to do this. So I would play arena ball from January till the end of April. May I would go to training camp in the CFL. I did that for 7 years straight. So I was the only player that was doing that. So I was stacking money here, then go stack money here. Now my first job ever is I came home and I was working at my high school. And I did it for a semester and I got away from that because I started seeing it's the difference when you in the school and you see how they treat certain people. Yeah. And I couldn't deal with that because it just wasn't right. So I walked away from that. Yeah. And then my first job ever was what was it? I think I took a job at a it's almost like a boys and girls place, but I was doing it to be a mentor to the young men.
Most definitely. You think it had anything to do with your background, with your father, by him being a pastor? You want to give back to the youth, in that capacity?
Yeah, I've always wanted to give back, man. Not only to the youth, but the adult world, because I feel that anything I got to offer, and it's in a good spirits, I'm gonna bless the next person. So age, race, it doesn't matter. I'm always trying to give.
You're real authentic with it, and And it's funny, this story. I'll tell you the other side of it. You know one side of it. I was at work and I was talking to Big Greg, and I was like, man, Greg, I said, man, I want to do like something, where our kids can get exposed to the pros. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And he got to talking. He was like, what you mean? I said, man, like something where they can be, practice with them and see how they work with them. He's like, Tristan, what you mean? And I said, like some practice with the pros type thing. He said, okay, hold on, give me a second. Yeah. That boy hung up and called back, not even, I'm going to tell you, it's a real 10 minutes later. Yeah, I got Michael Bishop, man. We're going to see if we get Antoine Smith with it. I like, hold up, man. I said, well, you got Michael Bishop? He was like, yeah, man, we're going to see if we get Antoine Smith to come too. I'm like, man, I know he ain't got 10 minutes. It was literally a literal 10 minutes. And when y'all came out there to work with them kids, man, it was unbelievable. Yeah. It was something that them kids didn't know about. Like, them kids got to go on the YouTube and see who y'all was. And, man, you threw the ball too high. That was like the only thing wrong with it. I wasn't ready, man. I wasn't ready. But that was like the way you related to those kids.
We got to find out who said you need some milk. That's what we got to find out.
Yeah, because they ain't right.
Oh, you ain't seen the video?
That is slim.
Come on, man.
But seeing how when I watched you working with them kids and how authentic you are with them kids and how you relating to them, and you wasn't just like you do a lot of these camps with a lot of these pro kids, a lot of these pro people. They basically there going through the motions though. You were there for work. You was there like working the quarterbacks. Like I don't think you really. I wish you'd have seen the season my quarterback had after he left that camp with you. Deuce was on laser eye focus, and he was on a different path. You know what I'm saying? And it was because like we used that expectation that he was like, hey man, look, we didn't just get anybody. Like you train with Mike Bishop, you better go look and see who Mike Bishop is. And and when they seen it, it brought that. I don't know. Like a lot of people do things just to do things, but like you came there to work. Like you, Antoine Smith, they came there for work, and that was real. I appreciate you, man. Let me tell you, that was real.
When Greg called and he told us about what was going on, and Greg said, "Just do what you do," and and me and Greg talk all the time. He know you can call me at 2:00 in the morning. If I got means to get them, I'm gonna be there. Because at the end of the day, like I said, if I can mentor this kid and this kid can learn one thing from me while I'm here, my job is done.
Right.
But I'm gonna have fun while I'm doing it.
Right.
And I'm gonna enjoy it myself, And like I say, you seen how some of the things we were doing, and my thing was, you know what? At the end of the day, this kid got better today.
Right.
And I'm the type of player, Greg can tell you, you ain't gotta broadcast, you ain't gotta do nothing, because I'll come back anytime. And if their kids show me they didn't want it, then we got something.
Yeah.
The sky's the limit.
Yeah. That wasn't a camp, that was football practice. Yeah. That was football practice, man. And I appreciate it. That was damn good.
So man, look, from the black congregation, man, so we talk about this all the time. This for this black folk.
Yeah.
You are the first Michael Vick. I'm sure it's the first time you heard that. So can you speak on the comparison between yourself and Michael Vick?
I say it like this. If I had to give Vic one thing over me, Vic was faster than me. I'm not gonna line up and run no consistent 4.3. But on Saturdays, I run at the speed I need to run to do what I need to do.
What was your 40 time?
My fastest time was a 4.49. Oh. And I still consider if I had proper training, I probably could have had some faster than that. But between me and Vic, I met Vic one time. I met Vic in Atlanta. At Lenox Mall, and Vic told me out of his own mouth that he appreciated what I did for the game, and he wore number 7 because of me.
Wow!
But that made me feel so good at that point.
Hold on. The reason the reason Mike Vick wear number 7. Say it again one more time.
Was because of watching me at K-State, and it came out of his own mouth at Lenox Mall. When I was in Georgia.
Wow.
But like I said, it goes to show that you never know who's watching you. You never know what kind of impact you got. because Vic did his thing. You know, he did his thing, but for him to give me my props. And then him to go and do some of the great things he did, it makes me sit back and say, wow. You know, and a lot of people have their opinions about Vic, but at the end of the day, you know, he's no different from us.
Yeah, I don't know about it. Yeah,
none whatsoever.
Man, so financially, right? So, and I'm speaking on this because you gonna have kids that go to the league, and we see all these kids, and the first thing they do when they get a big check is buy a car, buy a chain or whatever. Can you speak on the difference between where you were at 22 versus where you were at 35, 36? You know what I'm saying? And maybe some information to help these kids if they so happen to make it to the league or come across some big money.
Well, I think at a young age, everybody goes through it. I think when I first got my money, I went and got an Escalade. Mm-hmm. And cash. It was like 3 of us. I think, look, Greg had a Navigator. I had a black Escalade. Kevin Falk had, Shark had an Expedition. Kevin Falk had a white Escalade. And our boy Tony George had a white Escalade. So when we rolled, everybody knew it was us. But if I can go back, I would have kept the same car I had in college. I think when I was young, I paid $16,000 for a piece of chain at a hotel. And a jeweler came in and was selling to the team, and I bought my first piece of chain, for $16 cash. That was big time at the time. But I seen
a piece of chain slab. Yeah. That was the rules. Yeah.
But also in that same room, seeing people like Tyler and all them buying stuff for $100,000, so you was able to see all that. But if I can go back, some of the things I did at early age, I would have never done that. I would have, I'm no dummy by any means with the money, but I wouldn't have did that. I wouldn't have went and got that.
Well, that's the thing that in the black community we lack. We don't have that financial literacy.
No, we don't.
We don't have that historic, financial literacy. We have somebody telling us, "Hey, no, this is not what you do. Yeah. You put a clump of money in a man's hand who ain't, like our parents. If you made $70,000, $80,000 a household, you were doing all right.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So, but if you're a kid and you making 100 times more than that, how can anybody counsel you on how to manage your money correctly?
Prime example, I had a cousin of mine that was 8th pick in the draft. Mm-hmm. Was balling out, Phantom, Lamborghini, you name it. And things didn't pan out. And all of a sudden, you can't live in that car.
Yeah.
You can't drive. You can't drive both of them at one time.
Right.
So but what a lot of people in the league, I think they go wrong with, if you got that type of money and you go lease something instead of buying it, and then for some reason you get cut and you can't keep that payment. Because you can go. The craziest thing is you got people who paying $6,000 for a mortgage. And when you're done, can you manage that $6,000? If you're not, you got to downsize. And then some people that play at that level, they're afraid of what people are gonna think if you got to downsize. But the thing about it, and I say this all the time, the league can set you up for failure because they give you all this. You the man, you on this pedestal. Now, when you can't play football no more and you got to come back home, all those people that you stepped on, you got to come back home to. And then you want a reception. And nobody give you a reception, now you want to kill yourself because you can't handle the pressure.
Right.
Then you can't come home and get a job. But you don't know how to work because you ain't never worked. You've been playing football all your life.
Right.
You don't even know how to fill out no resume. You don't even know how to fill out no application. You get online and look at chicks. You get online to see what the next man doing. Yeah. But you can't get online to find employment. So as a player, when you forget about all that, then reality hits you. It's a whole different ballgame. Now you're on meds because you're going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Or you come home and you treat your lady bad. You jump
because you're a hurt person.
Because you hurt.
Yeah, you're a hurt person.
And guess what? Nobody cares about that. You know what I mean? And that's real life because when you get away from that, and I said this in one of my statements one time. Who are you when the lights off? Because on that stage, you can do your dance.
Right.
And people celebrate you. But when that light turn off and you played your last game, you take the helmet off for the last time, you got to come sit next to me. You know? And I got more money than you got. But you come from the league where you had all this. Then you got to come down. And a lot of people scared to ask for help. You know, and that's on every level. You scared to ask for help, and then all of a sudden you stuck. And then people don't want to deal with you. Mm-hmm. But it's not their fault. You put your own self in that situation.
Right.
And there's a lot of players that once they fall from grace, they can't live in life.
They go crazy. That depression set in, man.
Yes.
It's a rough thing, man, and a lot of that go towards having the right mentorship, having the right people talking to you, the right people around you.
That's the number one thing. You said something. You said a mouthful. You gotta have. If you're gonna have somebody in your corner, they gotta see the good. They gotta understand the bad, but they gotta tell you, no, that ain't it. And you gotta be able to listen. But you can have all the right people in your corner, and if you don't want to listen, you're a train wreck.
Right.
But if you trust them and that's your group, not your clique, that's your group, then they're gonna look out for your best interest, even when it hurts them to tell you the truth.
Hey,
right.
Yes. I always say, you don't need yes man, you need no man.
Yep.
And all my friends will tell you, I'm the no man. I'm gonna tell your ass no every time. Do you look good in that shirt? No.
How you think I ought to get this car? Nah.
Do you think she like me?
No. They gonna call you a hater in the forefront.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm everybody's number one hater.
But the thing about it, you need haters to become you though.
Yeah, most definitely.
Because if you ain't got haters, then you're gonna go around and you're gonna miss out. You're gonna miss out on life.
Right.
Haters don't make you stronger.
Most definitely. Man, so you spoke about some bad financial decisions that you made. No specifics, but can you speak on some good financial decisions that you made?
Man, I tell you, when I was growing up, like I said, one of 7 kids, I watched my dad worked for Pepsi. My mom worked at school. I watched my dad at that time count. He got paid every Thursday. He made $780 every Thursday. Mm-hmm. I watched him sit on the floor with the bills and put this amount all cash right here on that bill, that bill, that bill. And we got 7 kids. You got $215 to make it. You gotta go get food, gas in the car, and all that. I seen it growing up, so I was learning about money and how to do it at that time. But I think my proudest moment is when I was able to buy my mom a house. Wow. That she wouldn't stay in for about 2 months. Because she said, I don't want that. That's your money. Wow. So it took my sisters to eventually get her to go into the house. You know, because I got the house and was trying to give her the key. No, I don't want that. But it let me know then it's not about that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And you know, I was saying to myself like, what you mean? You know, I got my mom a car she wanted, CLK 320 coupe at the time, 2-door, sunroof, all that, black on black. She wanted it, so I was able to get that for her, and that was for me. That was my biggest. I didn't care anything about me. You know, so I had the Escalade, and that's all I really wanted. I had a place to go. I had a place to call home. You know, and once I seen her and I seen how much, you know, she took that house and decorated how she wanted. She was proud of that. So that was my biggest moment.
That's the ultimate black kid dream. Yeah. The buy my mama house. I don't know why. I don't know where it came from or why we like that. Yeah. But that's like every young black kid. What you want? I'm gonna buy my mama house. Yeah. You know, and you achieve that dream. That's a ghetto dream.
But the thing about it is like, you know, you can see your mom looking at magazines and you know you just listen like, oh, I like that. That's nice. But in the back of your mind, I'm like, I gotta get to the league so I can get that. Yeah. You know, that was my thinking at the time. I gotta do what I can do to get that. You know what I mean?
Nah, man, that's big, bro. That's real big. So, what are some of your interests now? Like as an adult, you done with football, obviously. What are some of your interests now?
Man, my interest right now is you know, I love being around kids. I love to see kids work. I love to see kids talk about their dreams and aspirations. Mm-hmm. But I tell kids at the same time, in the same breath, you can't tell everybody your vision because 9 times out of 10, the people you tell your vision is gonna knock your vision down. Mm-hmm. So if you got a vision, you got a dream, you hold on to it. And once you reach that, then you can talk about it. Right. And then they still gonna say what they're gonna say regardless.
Tell them the backstory.
Yeah, tell them the backstory.
Right.
And when I be around kids, I always tell kids to, hey, this is your movie script. Be your own story now. Mm-hmm. Can't nobody tell your story better than you. Mm-hmm. And so I think a lot of kids that I be around and I train, and I can you know pull up to a park and get out and just start talking to the kids. you know, and just mentoring the kids. Because at the end of the day, you know, like I said, one of them's gonna get it, and that's what you want. One of them get it, then the other's gonna follow.
That's right.
You know, and I always tell the kids, you know, it's easy to jump on the bandwagon. It's easy to say you did this and did this. I said, but at the end of the day, when all this is taken away from you, what they gonna say about you?
Right.
And some of the kids, they take and they understand that, and I've seen a lot of them change from that too, though.
Man. So, do you have any kids yourself?
I got all girls, no boys.
No boy.
Wow, you been being bad. You bad boy. You been being bad. You came right back.
I say no, but every kid I run into, I consider, you know, a part
Yeah,
of
most
me too.
definitely.
You know,
Right.
I got to.
So, let's say you did have a son. Would you want your son to play football?
Oh man, that's a tough one. So I want my son to play because you're gonna get beat up, you're gonna get cut up, you're gonna get talked about, you're gonna get, you know, all these things that I went through. You're gonna get a part of that, and it's gonna make you the man you're gonna be. Now, if you think about all the other stuff in football, you know, later on in life, no, I would have to say no. But at a young age, go get it. You know, give me some. Give me.
But
some
you wouldn't make that the focus. Like this not our.
No.
This not our way out.
Yeah.
You have other ways.
It's just like my daughter watched YouTube with me, and I think one time against Adam, I jumped over Paul, and you know I got hit, but I scored a touchdown, and she was like, "Daddy, that hurt," and I was like, "I don't remember." And she was like, "What you mean you don't remember?" I said, "I don't remember. I remember the touchdown. I don't remember the hit." And so she was like, "You took a lot of hits. Is your body okay?" Because sometimes she's like, "Dad, I think your body is damaged." And so I'm sitting there and I listen to it, and I'm like, "You know what, you got a point." But you know, at that time, I'm trying to get it. You know, so some things that kids say and they see your reaction sometimes, it makes you think about, you know, the risk that you take.
I'm gonna tell you this, man. God talk through kids, and sometimes your kids say some stuff, and it's like, man, make you think about some stuff different, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, man, kind of speak on, you know, CTE and you know, you playing quarterback and you ran around a little bit more. Do you feel any effects? I mean, of course, you know, you can't know if you have that or not, right? Yeah. But is that something that crossed your mind?
I think it crossed everybody, man. Everybody that put on a football helmet, everybody that's been in NASCAR, been banged up in wrecks or
boxing,
you know, it's all across the line. So it's dangerous, man, because you can feel fine, and your brain is all scattered, you know. And I don't know if y'all know, but Greg, I had a stroke January.
Yep, I was actually
I had a stroke January 3rd, and you know, I woke up that morning like brand new. Nothing was bothering me. Yeah. And then I had a real bad headache behind my left ear. And so I went to go watch some kids I trained before, watch them play basketball at the high school. And man, I sat down, and when I sat down, my head felt like somebody was just punch me. So I told my buddy, I was like, man, I don't feel good. And I didn't know it at the time, but I was sweating. And you know, he said, you know, you don't look good. So I said, well, I'm gonna get out of here. And so instead of going home, I went to my sister's house. And I'm glad I made that decision, because when I got to my sister's house, I put my truck in park, and I collapsed. But when I came back to, you know, my sister was outside, and you know, they was telling me, you know, what had just happened, and all of a sudden, like from my left side, I went totally numb, and they gave me some water, and I was trying to drink it, but every time I would take that water, and I would try to come in, it goes straight here, and that's one of the signs upward motion from the stroke sign. So, long story short, I get to the hospital, and they start running tests, and they come back and tell me that they admitted me I had a stroke. And I was like, what you mean I had a stroke? Because I felt like I was in great shape. I'm not diabetic. I don't have anything. Yeah. And all of a sudden, you know, I was fighting a battle with no game plan. I didn't have a script to what I need to do with that, you know. And so that was one of the toughest moments of my life, because as I was laying there, I was seeing everything from childhood up to recent. I see everything splashed in front of me, you know. And you know, you come down, the doctor's telling you that, you know, well, you had damage on your left side, and I'm sitting there, I'm listening to all this, and they started taking blood every 4 hours, and I'm sitting there, and you know, I'm thinking about everything.
Yeah,
and then you realize, when you down and out, you realize who's with you and who's not with you. You know, I lay in that bed for 14 days.
Wow.
So I know who came and seen me. You know, so and then I'm talking about immediate family that's 10 minutes down the street. that don't come see me. So it put things in perspective. So I was sitting there, man, and like I said, I was praying a lot, and they came in and they couldn't get my blood right, they couldn't get this right, so I stayed there longer than I wanted to. But at some point, that competitive kicked in. I was like, man, I can't lay on this bed. I started sitting up and I started moving around. I'm walking around the hospital with the IV in my hand, pulling the thing. Yeah. And I kept telling myself, you're not going to beat me with this one. Mm-hmm. And then of course, God, what is you trying to tell me? You slowed me down. You got me. You got my attention. What is it?
Now, what's the message?
Yeah, what's the message? Right. And from that point on, man, I tell people all the time, man, you know what? You never know. And once I got out of there, some of my homeboys was like, man, how did it happen to you? You still going to gym? You was doing all this, how did it happen to you? And I was like, man, I just had a headache and it just hit me. So I can't explain it, but I'm not gonna let it keep me down. I gotta keep moving. So even the kids I train now, they look at me and they was like, my dad told me you had a stroke. We was praying for you. And I was like, well, I appreciate it, man. Your prayers work. Mm-hmm. And they don't know that, you know what I mean? But that's my reaction, So, I was down for a minute and didn't know which way to go. Right. I had no idea. Never had to take any kind of medication or none of that. So, it's very important. Like, even now, man, a lot of us scared to go to the doctor. You're scared to, you might find out. You go to the doctor, they're gonna find something wrong with you. We already know that.
That's how they get paid. That's how they get paid. Like taking car get all the time. You tell you need damn tune-up.
Yeah. So I tell everybody, if you feel bad, go get it checked out because you can catch it before it gets whatever it's gonna be.
That was that. And so, was you had any type of pre-existing before that day?
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. And then of course I started thinking about it. It was blood clot. So was it a hit I took from playing ball? Was it? But did it come from this year? Did it come from that year? Yeah. I don't know. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting there and speaking of the concussion thing, you go and you get all these tests. And for me, it been there. But how could you CAT scan me and don't see that? Mm-hmm. Or did you see that and didn't tell me? Mm-hmm. Because it wasn't your job to tell me that. Most definitely. So I started, thinking about all that, and it goes back to show that everybody don't care for you. Right. Even though that, you got certain doctors that this is their job, it's not their job to speak on that. Most definitely. But you don't know about it. You don't know what you don't know. Right. So once all that happened to me, man, I started reading up on strokes. I started reading up on, I'm gonna start doing some stuff with Heart and Stroke Foundation. I got all kind of stuff lined out, but I had to get myself together for it.
Most definitely. Yeah. It's a blessing. I'm glad you're still here. Most definitely. Because it had been traumatic to myself as a fan.
I tell you what, too. What's so crazy about it? I was the youngest one I was in the hospital in the Woodlands. I was the youngest one on the 4th floor, and it was a stroke division. And when I was walking around those hallways, I was hearing people moan. I was hearing people crying. Hospital ain't there for that amount of time. You started hearing what these codes are. I kept hearing cold blue. So one of the nurses came in. I said, man, I need one of them cold blues. They getting up out of here. Yeah. But, she told me, she said, no. She said, Bishop, you don't want cold blue. Cold blue mean they finna come get you. Yeah. And it was people dying, and that's when it really hit me. I was like, oh my goodness, I got the same thing they got, and they let me know that God ain't through me. It's some
cold greater. Blue mean
cold blue they gone.
Now cold blue was what's that song? 97. What's that song? Bone Thugs Army. Yeah. It's Crossroads.
Yeah, Crossroads.
We at the Crossroads. That's what cold blue is. Yeah.
But before I got out of there, man, I kid you not, like the rooms that was right next to me, I was in the corner, and when last time before they, because I was rehabbing, it had an effect on my left side, but I was rehabbing the whole time I was in there. So those 1, 2, 3, 4 rooms that was on my right side, man, it was gone. It was older people that came in and the stroke took them out. So it was an eye opener for me. Like, okay, so what is it? What is it you want me to go do? You know what I'm saying?
Man, you blessed though, because a lot of people, man, when they get done with stroke, like they still that left side
it's something always wrong lingering after that stroke.
Man, that's it, man. I mean, you definitely blessed, man. So I thank God for that, man. You stay my prayers on that one, brother. Real talk, man. Let's get back to some football stuff, some positive stuff, man. So not to say it's not positive, but what were you doing today's game? You see all these black quarterbacks.
And how they embracing it.
Come on,
welcoming it. How is it?
I'll tell you this, I say in today's game, I'm the #1 pick. And everybody's trying to trade up to get me. It's funny because when I did it, it wasn't cool. It was cool for us.
Yeah.
But it wasn't cool for that world. So to sit back and see the guys that are getting opportunity, I can't let them take my head off.
Right.
But at the same time, I gotta feel great because
you laid one of those stones.
I had to.
You laid the stone.
And for the ones that don't recognize that, they lost.
Right.
You know, because a lot of us that get in there forget about all those things. Like for me, you know, Warren Moon, Randall Cunningham, if they don't go through what they go through, Vince Evans, if they don't go through all the stuff, Doug Will, if they don't go through that,
sacrifice.
Yeah, if they don't go through that, I don't get my shine.
Right.
If I don't do what I did and go through what I get through, Vic don't get his shine.
Right.
You know, fast forward to
Lamar Jackson.
Right.
That's who I compare you to. Because I look at what you doing at what you did at Kansas State versus and your coaching staff, how they embrace you. Say, man, we're gonna let Mike B be Mike B. He here, we're gonna enjoy this ride. And I see Harbaugh them the same thing or doing the same thing with Lamar Jackson. Like, man, we not finna turn him into all this. We finna ride this here. And we're gonna enjoy the ride while it's going. To do that in the NFL, and it's not just any coach who did it. You know, that Harbaugh family, that Harbaugh coaching, you know, that's a legit coaching staff. They have, in fact, and I'm watching this draft closely because I'm trying to see, because you know they got a couple quarterbacks they trying to put up there that nobody ever heard of. They still doing that, right? I'm looking for that quarterback that's gonna come in and continue that wave of with Lamar Jackson and what started with Kaepernick and moving forward. Like, hey, no, we're not changing this dude. We gonna treat him like you would do any pocket passing quarterback and any other quarterback. We're gonna build a team around my quarterback.
You got to nowadays, but a tidbit here. You just think about the teams that never had a black quarterback.
Oh Lord!
Just think about it.
They never
had one. That would never have one. So, but at this point right now, in the stage we in, the ones that's getting opportunity and they doing their thing, and they thriving, hats off to them because they realize. I think Lamar has realized that they didn't want him.
Right.
You know, and you go back and if I'm Lamar, every day I wake up, first thing I'm looking at is when I'm sitting in that green room. That's my motivation for the day. Even though it's off season and everything going on, that's my motivation because I was there. You know what I'm saying? This what y'all had me at. Y'all said I couldn't do it. Now I got the whole world want to do what I do.
Right.
You know.
And now you making now that majority is starting to be minority.
Right.
Because I mean, in a win now culture, because really the way the culture in the NFL is now, you gotta really think hard about who won the Super Bowl 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's like you won it this year, okay, next year we on to the next one. So that legacy thing is completely out the window. And people are selling, I'm gonna say this here, and I might lose some people. The way the culture of the NFL is now, they are selling out. What we call on the opposite side, selling out. So you're gonna go get this black quarterback and let him build an organization around him, this mobile, and let him run all over the place and give him extra blockers, give him all this extra stuff so he can run. On the opposite side is selling out. You know, it ain't the selling out what we think is selling out. So you gonna take Michael Bishop, like say this, you the win, when you was at the Patriots. So what you gonna do? You gonna make this offense and you gonna do a pro version of what he did at Kansas State? That would have been selling out back then. So now is in this win now microwave society that I hate it, but I love it in some points, but I hate it in other points. They like, okay, so who gonna sell out next? Because Carolina did it with Cam. And you keep on going on.
The second best quarterback in Blend history.
Second best.
Absolutely.
Second best. We're going to make sure we keep that out there. And now you've seen it now, so I want to see, since Lamar did what he did, because it's easy to do it. I'm going to say this. Pat Holmes is the one-off. He has the arm talent to play their game. Right? Yeah, he can do it, all right? It's not that many that can do it, no matter if you're white or black. But who's gonna do what they did with Lamar?
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna compare Mike Bishop more to Pat Mahomes and the Kyler Murray for a reason. Because you can tell the difference with them because they were baseball and football guys.
Right.
And you tell the difference with their arm. The arm strength, the way they slang it is different.
The release.
Man, it's just different. The way their arm came off his hand was something different. That's why they put him in a game where they had to do a Hail Mary. Same thing when you in CFL, they put you in the game one time right to store a Hail Mary. Somebody missed the pass, but they knew you was on the person to get it that long. It just those baseball guys that play quarterback they just different, man. And I put him in that category, not so much Lamar. This is me personally.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What was your favorite play of all time? Your favorite play of all time?
My favorite play of all time. Of all time, I would say. Well, I'll give you both of them. College, Syracuse Fiesta Bowl. Fake the option, drop back on the line, probably like, I don't know, 45, 50 yards on the rope to McDonald. In the league, you know, got to be the Hail Mary, or it could be the run against San Fran on the option. High school was probably one of my hits on kickoff. First playoff game, I was punter, kickoff guy, all that.
Really?
I kicked it deep, kicked to the end zone, and he decided to run it out, and the game got delayed for about 40 minutes. True story. We played against Henderson, Texas. Henderson High School. And I hit him. It was clean hit. Game delayed. They brought the stretch out.
Oh, man. Say.
First playoff game.
You brought the stretch out? Oh, man.
Brought the stretch out. I'm gonna get that video. I'm gonna send it to G. So
I need to get this. We gotta put that.
Say, man, God, what? You remember the kind of helmet you had back then, bro?
Yeah, Rodale,
man.
That was the slogan. Put that Rodale on your ass.
Hey, was it plastic face mask that time? Or you had
I had the metal on mine.
You had the Dion.
No, I had that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about though, but it was. It's so crazy about it, man. You see how these helmets have changed so much.
Yeah, man.
But they had to do that with all the head.
Most definitely.
But back then we played. Hey, you got hit and you couldn't sit out no more than one play.
Nah, most
you gotta drink some water.
Get back in there. Throw some dirt on, get back in there. That's the way the game was played. Man.
Most definitely, man. Man, he put this man on the stretcher, man.
When you see the video, you gonna be like,
make sure you send us that. We gotta have that for the archive. What is that ring right there? Because I know that's not an ordinary ring.
No, this
Put it on the cam.
This is the Grey Cup CFL. We won it in 2004.
Oh, let me see. Can I touch it?
That's the CFL.
I ain't gonna drop it, y'all, because I already know y'all got y'all left.
It's been dropped plenty of times.
It's on there. Grey Cup right there.
Yeah, from Toronto Organized.
That's nice, man. That's nice, man. That is nice. That is nice, man. So, and this right here is the Davey O'Brien Award. Now, how many quarterbacks they get this year?
Every year they pass it out to one player. One quarterback. So I got mine.
You got yours?
I got mine, but I'd rather have that Heisman, but I'll take that as well.
And it's just like I say, man, he deserved the Heisman. How can he be the best offensive player in the Big 12 and lose the Heisman to a person in the same conference as him? It don't make sense. But like I say, UT is more of a machine than what Kansas State was that time.
Right.
You know what I'm
saying?
saying?
Just the fact that UT had a player in that conversation.
Right.
Most definitely.
And I'm going to tell you, I'm a UT fan, right? But I'm a Mike Bishop fan.
Yeah.
Ricky went crazy. He wasn't Mike Bishop.
Yeah.
At that position, and if you got a tie between a quarterback and any other position, the quarterback is supposed to win.
And to add on to that, Rick was at UT for 4 years.
Right.
It took him 4 years to break that record.
Right.
I played at K-State for 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, in both my years, I put up great numbers.
Rick Williams, man, you owe us, man.
You know, Ricky, you tell Ricky you need to come holler at us because he's going to have to explain that whole little situation. And because you from Galveston, I'm going to tell you this here. We going to claim that one.
Hey.
Willis, we let y'all borrow him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, y'all bring Ricky here, y'all gotta light it up though.
My job ain't let me smoke no weed, so I can't do that. I can't do that.
Rick gonna bring his own light up.
Are you still residing in Willis?
I actually live in Conroe right now.
Conroe, okay. Yeah, man. You can get some land. I want to give me some land down that way. That's what I'm
It's high now, boy. We building up there. Anytime you build a hospital up there,
it's starting to blow up.
Yeah, it's
But you ain't finished building it yet, did you?
Oh, we built one, about to build another one.
Okay, yeah, I got
and expanded on another one. I'm talking other business on it. But man, we appreciate y'all for you come through. Now this is the thing. This is our gift from Piccoli. Right here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, try one though. We gotta try one.
Yeah,
put it on there. Yeah, you gotta try one right there.
Pickles?
I don't know what it is about them.
Well, you know they slice.
I can't eat pickles.
You can't eat pickles
because I had too much.
The salt.
No, too much. That's another thing. I had vitamin K from anything that's green.
I ain't never heard of
lettuce.
Really?
I didn't know about it until I had a stroke.
Really?
Lettuce, cucumbers.
So too much green.
Too much vitamin K. Pickles is on the list. But my daughter gonna kill him though.
Get that see, baby girl.
Yeah. Video her
taking it.
Yeah.
And then we also got this from 409 to 409 G County Stove, our sponsor.
Yep.
Because we know we're going to always embrace, we got this Kansas State purple, we're going to always embrace the Galveston, Texas part of you first.
Yeah.
This is Jack Johnson. We see it right there.
Jack Johnson.
Put that right there, put it on the good cam. There you go, right there. Jack Johnson Boulevard, right here.
Let me tell you history about Jack Johnson. He the first man to have a drop top with two white girls in the car at the same time. I'll tell you that right now.
And not get harmed.
And not get harmed.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Right. So you do that, that's our present for you. Yep. And man, we so appreciate you coming through, man. It's been a blessing, man. And like I say, it's me being as a fan, you know, a Mike Bishop fan. It was so real. And man, anytime you want to come through, because football, we on hiatus right now, right? But when football season starts, we about to get crazy. We get to talk about football, NFL, NCAA, whatever, man. So you more than welcome. You in the No Excuses Podcast. One thing I had to ask, because I had to ask a lot of people this.
Corona.
Do you? No, not at all. Not at all. I just need a little water. Not at all. I got to test. I'm good. What do you have to say about excuses?
Man, I tell you, I mean, the easiest thing to say is excuses like
asshole.
Everybody got one. Yeah. But for me, you know, if you got to make an excuse, you don't even need to be around. You know, it's all about, you know, if you want to go get it, you know. There's plenty of people around you that's gonna make excuses why they can't do it.
Right.
So don't fall into that same category. You know, if it's something that you know, got that vision, you got that dream, and you know, all it takes is for you to say, "I'm going to go get it," regardless of what I got to do. You know, don't be afraid, and you're gonna when you get the no's, you know, put that no on your back and keep fighting until you get that yes. Yeah. You get that yes, then you know you've accomplished your goals. But you know. I don't even try to expel excuses.
Not at all.
And when I hear kids that come up with a million things, you know, I basically tell them, I say, you know what, maybe it's not for you. Because you gotta keep finding an excuse why you can't give me all you got, and you're still young and you're breathing. I'm gonna go. This is what I use when it comes to people making excuses, right? You go to Texas Children's Hospital, and you see them kids who fighting for their life. But you out there making an excuse.
Right.
When you see these parents, they got to go in there and kiss their kids goodbye. Yeah. They're 7 to 8 year olds, and then you gonna make an excuse.
Right.
You know, that's the way I look at it. You know.
So you heard it here, man. Mike B say, no excuses.
Yep. No excuses, no regrets.